So hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I am sitting here with Donovan, the recovering Democrat, Sadiq, and it is the Demetra K Show where we promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people with the emphasis on even because we are great people, but we can always strive to do better. So I also like to say a big giant thank you to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. You are the other side of the conversation. And not only are you just viewers, are participating in the comment section, we now have opened up a link that you can click on when I give you the go ahead to do that. To click on and comment, speak your mind or ask a question, whatever it is you want to do. Only thing is, I ask that I am able to see your face. If I don't know you already, you're not like a regular that clicks on the link. Just show me your face really quick. If you're not comfortable with going on the big screen, once you show me your face, then you can put up your what is it, your picture or whatever it is, right?
Emoji, whatever, yeah.
Emoji or whatever it is. So I'll give you the prompt to do that. So today we have a very jam-packed show. So yes, like Donovan just did, you could do that jam-packed show. So we're going to talk about the Justins of Tennessee, actually the Tennessee Three, Justin Pearson and Justin Jones. We have all kind of learned more about them in the past weeks, and I'll get into that in just a few. Someone by the name of Easy also asked me to talk about that of Mark Taylor. He is a football coach out of Georgia that got caught. I don't even know if he got caught. It might have been on purpose being racist. So I'm going to give a commentary on that, and then Donovan will jump in, and then we're going to move on to what some people are probably really waiting for, why I don't know. And that's the conversation of the football player in Morocco that got divorced. So his wife divorced him. And then she learned that she is entitled to nothing due to the way he structured his assets. And so I know that's going to be a very heated conversation. So Donovan, what say you before we get started?
Oh, welcome. When it's Sunday, that means it's Demetra K, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Welcome to shows. Do us a favor. Demetra is going to do this for you guys. Won't cost you a thing. Hit that like button. Like, share, and subscribe. Even become a member. Demetra drops some very, very knowledgeable videos, not only here, but also on the ADC, the African Diaspora Network. Really great stuff. Also, if you look at the scrolling thing at the very bottom, if you want to participate and help support the show, you got Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all kinds of stuff, and you could do that. So this is going to be a very interesting topic because once again, as we are gearing up for the elections, the elections are coming, and the Democratic Party, they are in panic. Let's get into it.
Yes, indeed. So I want to say hello to everybody that came on in the comment section. Miss Moni, what's going on? He says, happy, wonderful birthday, Demetra. My sexy brown sugar boo, Donovan. Good evening to you. Much Detroit love to both of you. And thank you so much. Yes, I was in New Orleans for from Thursday to Saturday. Had a very good time. I am going to go back before the summer is over. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. So thank you. And Rain, what's going on with you? Shalom to you as well. Only Pamela's way. What's going on? Tracy, Brian, how are you doing? D. Griffin, what's going on? Love and light to you as well. Hello, Beverly, how are you? Ricky Jones said a DNC operative. Okay. And D. Griffin said the same thing to Donovan. Love and light. Easy, what's going on? I am going to cover the topic that you sent to me. It's going to be in the middle. And Eunice, how are you doing? Brother Reggie, hey, and Jan Michael, what's going on with you? Tania, rather. How are you doing? Long time no see. And Super Sam Clark, what's going on with you? Sunlight, how you doing? All right, so yes, Ramadan Mubarak. When is it over? It should be pretty much over, right? As you could tell, I did not participate this year, but next year I hope to. So anyway, hello, Yanni. Let's get into it for the sake of time. All right. Justin Pearson, Justin Jones, and Gloria Johnson are what we know to be the Tennessee Three. Okay, now I don't have a picture of them. Y'all can see two of them on the thumbnail, and y'all gonna see one of them in just a minute. Okay. Now, a couple of weeks ago, they two of them got expelled, and one of them was in danger of getting expelled. So Gloria Johnson, she was in danger of getting expelled from the Tennessee House, if you will. They're all state representatives. Now she was saved by one vote, and the two brothers, we'll call them that, Justin Jones and Justin Pearson, they actually were expelled. Okay, they're all Democrats, if I didn't already say that. Now, of course, there was this big uproar all over the United States, specifically with the Democratic Party. Kamala even went down there and gave this rebel rousing speech of how we'll fight on, we'll march on, and we'll do all these things, right? So a lot of people, as I said, were upset that they got expelled by the Republican-led House. Okay, let's just say what it is. So, of course, it was there was accusations of this being political, like a political witch hunt type of thing to get rid of the black lawmakers. All right. So then a couple of days ago, they were reinstated back into the House. Okay. So everybody has their job back. All is good and all this other stuff. Now, Justin Pearson, and I should say Justin Pearson is 28, Justin Jones is 27. So they're fairly young. And I guess like a couple of the youngest people to be in the House of Representatives in Tennessee. Now, they have been known to be activists in the community. One is from Memphis, that's Pearson, and Jones is from Nashville. I think he's from Nashville. All right. So they've been activists during the George Floyd protest and environmental issues and all these other things, right? Now, the other accusation comes with that of Justin Pearson, and I'm going to show you guys a little clip that I kind of put together. Not an original creation, if you will. I've seen other people do it, so I just kind of put together what I found. Some people are accusing him of being a plant. And the same thing of Justin Jones. They're accusing them of being sent, right? Like these Democratic Party operatives to go out there and fool people, I guess, for a lack of better words. So I am going to, and if I didn't already say it, my mind's all over the place. I've been busy today. They were protesting a shooting at the is a school, private school, something like that in Nashville, where people were murdered by a gunman, and I think that was the LGBT, the trans gunman, if you will. So here's a video. Why isn't it playing the sound? Hold on a second. Oops, where's my sound? It's weird. Hold on. Can y'all hear it at all?
No, can't hear it. Can't
but
hear
y'all can hear me.
Yeah.
Well, that's weird. I don't know why you can't. It's not on me. It's the StreamYard.
It's StreamYard. I mean, anyway, don't get me started on that.
Let me remove it and see if I can bring it back. Hold on one second. Y'all bear
with
me.
Yeah, but in the meantime, hello, Rain. The do nothing for their Black community lawmakers. You got that right. They put on a spectacle. Yeah, did you see that spectacle? Sunlight says Ramadan ends on 4/20. A lot of her friends think that is the funniest thing. 4/20. Yeah, 4/20. Yeah, I'm a square. I'm an L7. And Pam's here. Moni, my Detroit love. Happy wonderful birthday week, Demetra. Happy blessed new week. Yes. Super Sam Clark, Ramadan Kareem. I hope I said that right.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this. This is not my end. Hold on, let me see if I can do it another way. So give me one.
We'll try another one. All right, brother Reggie can hear you, but not the video. Exactly. Like I said, the StreamYard, it's a great platform, but sometimes when it comes to platforms, they should just leave. If it's working, just leave it alone. You know, they want to do so much to get people to buy into it and stuff like that eventually it makes the platform unstable. And a lot of people are getting upset and they can't do their streams and all kinds of stuff. Oh, yeah. Sunlight. 4/20 is National Weed Day. Yeah, exactly. Emmett Bean says, think Telson Figaro was too hard on Justin Pearson during their interview on Breakfast Club. Wow. Let's see. What else we got here? Yeah, there's a lot going on. I don't know if you guys actually saw this guy when he came out. Now, here's my question before Demetra comes back and kind of guides us to where the subject's going to be. I'm sitting at home and I'm watching this guy, and I guess he's in front of the Capitol, and he's pastoring, he's jigging, and he's doing all this stuff. And I'm thinking,
I'm actually going to show that video right now if I can get the sound.
Okay.
Let me see. Okay, can y'all hear that?
Can you turn it up? Yeah, it's like it's in the background.
Hold on. I got you. I'm getting it together, y'all. I have to do it through the back door. The back door is not always. Shut up.
Okay. You did it, not me. That was you, not me.
I have no knowledge of that. All right, here we go.
Here we go.
And I'm running for president of DSG. There are a few reasons that we're running this campaign this year. One has to do with representation. How can we represent all voices in a conversation? I want to do this by partnering with organizations from the voting Democrats to the voting Republicans. I want to bring together different voices, dissenting voices, voices that may be more liberal or more conservative, in order that we can reach a point of sort of the radical.
They tried to kill democracy. They tried to expel the people's choice and the people's vote. And they awakened a sleeping giant. Gloria Johnson and Justin Jones and me on trial. But they ended up putting themselves on trial. The people's verdict is not. Guilty. Guilty of white supremacy. Guilty of patriarchy. Guilty of supporting the NRA of people. Guilty of attacking the poor. Guilty of not expanding health care. Guilty of not giving us educational resources. Guilty. We don't build this movement. We don't build this movement.
All right. So once again, sorry for that technical difficulty. That was through no fault of my own. But anyway, so that was Justin Pearson. Y'all saw when he first started off as a younger man, he was very, he was very smooth and quiet, and he, had a little nice delivery. But then as you flash forward to 2023, and he and Justin Jones both are new to the Tennessee House of Representatives this year. But as you see him now, he's got this young Malcolm, this Martin, this Jesse Jackson, the John Lewis. And if you ask me, he also sounds a lot like Barack Obama and Ralph Warnock, right? They all kind of like sound the same. And so what it makes me wonder is, are these people in training somehow? Because if you guys remember listening to Ralph Warnock during the debates, if you close your eyes, you're like, is that Barack Obama? Because it sounded just like him. Now, when I watch Justin Pearson, that's who you guys saw, he reminds me of the same thing. Ralph Warnock, Barack Obama, they got these inflections and they've got this, the same manner of speaking, if you will. And so I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Now, I will say I actually was watching that live as it was going on, and I was doing something else. But I kept looking up and I kept laughing like, is he serious? Like this, it was almost like, it was cringy. Because it's like, come on, man. You laying it on kind of thick there. Now, I don't want to say it's because he's young. He's 28. He's younger than me. And there's been a lot of young leaders. So I don't want to take anything away from him being young. But it's just like the transition of where he was to where he is now. He's got the afro. So I think they're trying to evoke this 70-esque civil rights leaders who have all the passion and the fire and things like that. Now, my thing is this, as I was watching this, I'm like, you might want to be careful because the people that he is emulating, a lot of them ain't here no more due to the very same people that he was talking about, white supremacy, patriarchy, and all these other things. And so the question that we have, I'm going to give it to Donovan. Now I'm going to jump in these comment sections. Then I'm going to open a link in that order. So when I'll say when. The question that I have is, are the Justins real? Do they mean what they're saying? Or are they a plant of the Democratic Party? Of course, you guys know the Democrats are facing an uphill battle, sort of kind of in 2024. A lot of Black people are starting to leave the Democratic Party due to just being disenfranchised. We want our money. We ain't got that. And so are they now putting these two very young men up to be all this, very passionate to maybe lure or keep the young black vote? Because as you guys also heard, a lot of people behind him was, yeah. I mean, and he almost had this preachy cadence, like he was preaching, right? So what is going on? Is it real or is it fake? Donovan?
Well, like you, I was listening and watching it, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm a critical thinker, and a lot of people out there, especially our co-hosts here, are critical thinkers. That's why they come to the show and we share these ideas and stuff. But I kept listening to his message, and there was no message. It was very performative. It was like he's saying all these tropes, all this and that. But what you're saying has to do with what? Nothing. What did you just do? He acted like we got reparations just now, or they cleared the marijuana evictions in Tennessee, like he actually substantially championed something. And if you really think about it, he was talking about nothing. And that's what a lot of these politicians do. They talk about nothing. It's all performative. Kamala comes down there, does almost the exact same thing. It all sounds great. We're going to continue to move forward. We're going to continue to John Lewis. And one thing they know about Black people is we love performance. We love to be entertained. And you say these key words, and then we forget what it is that we really were like protesting about. Well, if you're there for reparations, they take you and then they guide you like a pastor to look another direction. And the next thing you know, you forget that you were there to overturn convictions, or you were there to stand up against police oppression. All performative, all performative. And then I want to bring this out too. His hair. Notice, and I'm just going to bring this up. Kalani Brown, Supreme Court Justice, married to a white man. Notice she has Afrocentric hair. Sheila Jackson Lee, Afrocentric hair. Stacey Abrams, Afrocentric hair. Karen Bass, natural Afrocentric hair. So the point is, what I'm saying is, it seems like there's a playbook or something that they do, especially when they garner younger people and they rise them through the ranks. What's the girl that was the communications director for Joe Biden? That she's a pro linebacker coming out.
Simone Sanders.
Simone Sanders, very short hair, very short, natural Afrocentric hair, right? And they groom these people to mislead, because remember, Simone Sanders was a Bernie-crat before she took the money to do the Democrat thing and made all the excuses for Joe Biden in the name of Blackness. So I'm not surprised at this. And I actually believe, once again, this is another feint or a switch to get young Black people to stop listening to the new Black media and get back in line with the Democratic Party. Because let's face it, if Donald Trump runs again, and he's running, and Joe Biden runs, Joe Biden barely won. You guys realize that, right? He barely won. And I'm not trying to scare you guys, because I'm on record. If Trump runs, I'm voting Trump. I'm on record to say that. So they need every vote that counts. And so what they're doing is they are putting their seed in the ground now to get these young people to stop focusing on the new Black media and what the Democratic Party has not done for Black people. And, look at what we've done, or look what we're trying to do, and da-da-da. You've been in there for 3 years, and you haven't done one thing for the very people that put you in office, Mr. Biden.
Absolutely. And Angela, thank you so much for the donation. Love and appreciate you for that. And hello to everyone that came on here. So we're discussing the Justins in Tennessee. Are they real? Are they fake? Who sent them, type of thing, right? Because, I'll be honest with you. I've been seeing a lot of the chatter online, specifically Twitter, about them being authentic or not. And I was like, well, I'm going to wait and see, just kind of learn a little bit more about them, because I like to try to do that before I just go in with a staunch judgment, if you will. But then, like I said, as a day, because that was the day he actually got reinstated when he was hooping and hollering and like that. I was like, come on, man. There ain't nobody got no Oscars out here. Like, what are you doing? You know? And then the older people who were beside him and behind him, they're just egging him on. And it's like, you, Donovan, like you said, it's like, what exactly was he talking about? And Ann Coulter, who was a big white supremacist, I agree with her. And Noam Chomsky, he actually said the same thing, agrees with her as well. Obama talked about hope and change, but he never defined what hope and change was. But a lot of people went along with it. Yes, it's the change you're going to believe in. Oh, yes, we're going to hope and we're going to change. And it's like, okay, but if you were ever to ask anybody, right, what exactly is hope and change? I don't know, but it sounds good. Amen and hallelujah. You know, so it's kind of the same thing, which shows that all they have to do to Negroes is offer symbolism and a whole bunch of, I'd like to be the equivalent of going to church nowadays. The pastor is falling all out in, Then you ask somebody after they come to church, well, what did the pastor talk about? Child, I don't know, but it sure was good. Oh, he sure did preach a sermon today. But what did he say? I don't know. I mean, did you take notes? No, because I was too busy swinging from the chandeliers myself. So that's kind of what it is. And it's a science of telling y'all. They know that Negroes like a lot of hooping and hollering, and we just get caught up in the Holy Ghost. And I'm not trying to, be blasphemous or anything like that. So don't mistake me in that. But they know that's all it takes is to give those Negroes a performance of a lifetime, and you got them hooked. So, and
ain't that right, Fife? How many of you guys remember The Breakfast Club? Come on, the infamous interview. She's talking about how she used to listen to Tupac and stuff before his album even with 2 years even out. I mean, they just know, and what they need is a black person to Pied Piper us into the direction that they want. Let's face it, ladies. Let's face it. It was black women with black men really right behind you guys that put Joe Biden into office. So they know this. But this time around, it's going to take more than black women to fall for the trickery again. Let's just face it. That's the real fact of the matter is everybody remember Tanji Brown when she got on the Supreme Court. Jennifer Lewis, beautiful woman, good actress. She was acting a fool on Twitter. I'm thinking, you're talking about all the great things this woman's going to do. She's going to change the mark and then going to do it. How many of you guys remember that? What has Kalani Brown sitting on the Supreme Court done for you? Hasn't put any more money in your pocket. Ketanji.
Yes.
Ketanji white chick Brown. What has she done to put more money in your pocket? Nothing. And that's what I'm saying. Like you said, performative. Everybody gets so excited. Then these people get in the office. Then what do? Nothing. Zero.
Yes, indeed, Kiki. And you say, haven't heard of him. I mean, I haven't heard of him until I saw all of the theatrics and stuff about it when they got expelled. And D. Griffin says, neither party has done anything for black people yet. We vote anyway. You are absolutely right. And L Boogie, how you doing? It says bad acting. Yeah, it seems like, because like I said, I was holding my, judgment until I saw that. I was like, oh, okay. Brother Samuel, he says, he sounds like he plagiarized Minister Farrakhan's book in the day called The Trial. Oh, okay. In it, he said, I charged a white man with being the greatest murderer on earth, etc. Then asked the judge to find him, the white man, guilty as charged. Interesting. Tanaya says, can y'all be reading into something that's not there, just saying that might be that young dude's character? I mean, you're right. It might be. However, the video that I just showed, and then, people are allowed to evolve, and maybe he's learned a new speaking style. I know that I have, right? I didn't speak like this when I was in high school. Yeah, or maybe I did.
You used to just yell. You used to yell and bully people. I remember.
No. But so he's allowed to learn other things, right? So I'll give you that. It might be his character, but my spidey senses is telling me, I don't know. I don't know. I'm still kind of on the fence with it because I don't know enough about him. And Andre Watson, how are you doing? It says, hope and change for no more GOP policies, but you're right. No one bothered to ask specifically what hope and change looked like. Yeah, didn't even ask for it to be defined. Brother Jonelle, what's going on with you? And Sister Kiki says, I wasn't in that number. No way was I voting for him. Got you. And Juan, how you doing? He says, sorry, Donovan, no black agenda, no black vote. Choosing the lesser evil is choosing evil. Yes, indeed. And that's what Malcolm X said to us so many years ago. And Ragnar, how are you doing? He says, you mean the lady that didn't know what a woman is? Yeah, Ketanji Brown Jackson. Donovan called that lady everything but a child of God. Sean, how are you? He says, I can't believe black men voted 86% for Jim Crow. Biden, that was sick. Well, yeah, they weren't too far behind black women, which is why when they always say the black woman is the, the vote, the backbone of the Democratic Party, it's like, how is she when the black man was right behind her? So let me see, get down to the rest of these. My thing is stuck. Comments here. And let's see, Steven Seagal, I haven't opened up the link just yet. So come on back when I open it up. Give me about another 5 minutes or so. Let's see, that's the name, Steven Seagal. Rain says, let's see here. All right, I think you're replying to somebody, but she says black RSN 303. I'm still out of work. Over the jab mandate, Mayor Eric Adams jumped ahead of the Republicans and said the mandate was over, but he didn't reinforce the hospital. How he never gave a date. Okay, got you. And
yeah, and how many of you guys remember AOC when she gave a fiery speech on the House floor, and she, being of Latin descent, with a little bit of black in her, according to her, she was being performative. And we got to do this for women. And we got to do, she was all in it. I mean, is that the new, way the Democratic Party is going to talk to the constituents, being performative?
Absolutely. Brother Arson, he says, how are you? We are doing fine. No clue what the subject is, but hearing Donovan, we see it so often, placing black people who develop the art of talking lots, but really saying nothing in charge. Hashtag peer hype. Yes, indeed. And Ricky Jones, you say, don't change yourself into a radical overnight. Yeah, it's kind of quick, So I'm going to skip down to some of the comments I haven't read so I can open the link.
Right. And then real quick, let's think about Black Lives Matter. Patrice Cullors and all the people that were involved with that. And the one girl that started with Al Sharpton's network. These people came out of nowhere and they're put in front of us and they're saying, okay, look at these young people that are the new leaders, the new progressives, this, whatever they're going to call it. And I'm not saying all of them are like that. That isn't what I'm saying. I have to go by the facts though. They get up there, they enrich themselves, and once again, do absolutely nothing for the people that they claim to help support. As we know in Black Lives Matter, most of the money that was released went to where? LGBTQ, gay, this, that, her boyfriend, her family, her friends, everything but the people that she claimed that she needed to help. And this is the playbook, and we fall for it every time. How many times are we going to fall for this, people? The new black media for the last at least 6 years have been hollering and screaming and ringing the alarm, telling you guys what's going on, but yet a lot of us still are Democratic. And like I said, you can vote however you want to vote, whatever. In my opinion, the Democratic Party is more evil than the Republican Party. I could say that just based on from their origin until now. What have they done for black people? We are worse off now in the 21st century than we have been. The backbone of the Democratic Party, the backbone, we've been talking about it. It's so-called the black woman, right? The highest group of people in the United States are black women that are being evicted. Where's the Democratic Party? If you guys are the backbone, the Democratic Party is leaving the black women out there in the cold. But then again, as Demetria says, where are the men? That's a different story. But the point is, the Democratic Party should be doing more for the backbone of the Democratic Party, in my opinion.
Steven Seagal, out for justice. What's on your mind today?
Hi, Donovan. Hi, Demetra.
How you doing?
Good. I used the name Steven Seagal for justice because you guys emphasize there needs to be justice for Black Americans. I took out a line from Exit Wounds. I'm not sure you watch Exit Wounds, but it's about police corruption that happens in Detroit, where there's a lot of white supremacists on the police force, and Steven Seagal plays as Oren Boyd. Notice the white supremacist tattoos, right? And his quick instinct is, I need to protect the president because who's going to protect the president running, right? Because the police are not going to do it. And what Urban Boy notices in that movie is that there are a lot of police corruption. And DMX said something very interesting in that movie. I'm not sure you guys remember. He said people talk about police corruption, but they never see it. So that's why the camera was very important. And that in that movie, the camera, the actress Eva Mendes, who videotaped police corruption, she was actually ahead of our time. 20 years, 21 or 22 years later, and so that's why it's very important. And to mention that, the Democrat, and you're right, Donovan, the Democrats need to do more, not only for everybody but especially Black voters, because Black people make up the majority of the electorates, right? And unfortunately, the Democrats, this sieve of not doing anything for Black people has actually started since the 1980s, and when Bill Clinton became president, twice. So this stuff started to happen. I'm not sure you guys were aware at that time in the 1990s, because when Bill Clinton said, let's end welfare as we know, what he means, like, let's end welfare for Black people. But the majority of people who use welfare was actually Muzungus. 90% of them use welfare. And so,
90% is kind of high, but
okay, well, let me get my point. It's more white people on welfare
yeah.
than Black people on welfare, and so Bill Clinton catered to GOP needs. And by the way, for the 1994 crime bill, it was orchestrated by both Democrats and Republicans. Democrats want gun control at that time. However, they had to make a deal with Republicans, and Republicans say, "Fine, you want gun control, but also make sure you incarcerate Black people as well." So they did dirty deeds behind Black voters in the 1990s and onward. And Democrats are using Black Democrats as a shield. So that way, because the white liberals know that if Black people fight for real tangible, such as cash reparations, ending qualified immunity, passing anti-Black hate crime, the white liberals know that they're going to lose control over the Black Democrats. So that's why they want the Black Democrats to perform performative stunts, right, to distract the issue, right? And I see a lot with the Asian liberals, Hispanics, Mozungu. So that's why I think, in my opinion, it's better just to vote third party or go green. However, I spoke to people at the Green Party. I'd asked them, like, okay, what are you gonna do next after you give cash reparations to Black voters? Like, your Black agenda for the Green Party needs to be expanded, but there's a lot of issues with, like logistics, not even raising enough funds. So I'm just curious about, I want to hear your guys' opinions, how to get the Green Party to really like go big, go strong, and also make sure that the Black agenda is very rigorous, extensive, in addition to passing cash reparations.
All right. Well, we will answer your question. So I thank you so much, Steven Seagal, for coming on here. But I'm gonna let somebody else come up. But I think we can try to answer that question as to how to. I guess what you're asking is get more Black people on board with the Green Party, and how to have the Green Party appeal more to the Black people. Is that what your question is?
Yeah, because I see, and don't even notice too, on the campaign platform, the Green Party's platform, it's great to have cash reparations, but what else are you gonna do for Black voters? Yes, Black people need, Black descendants of slavery need cash reparations, right? But I notice the Green Party is mostly run by, older Mzungus. Yeah, they're for it, but I feel like there's like a disconnect. And I'm a guy who's like very aggressive. Like, if they say they're gonna do it, they need to do it. Like, they can't do it talk the talk, but they definitely need to walk the walk, like what Jimmy Johnson of the Cowboys would say in the 1990s. Let the mind control the body. If they're gonna talk the talk, we need to walk the walk.
Absolutely. So let me go ahead and try to answer your question. But thank you so much, Steven Seagal, for coming on. Please come back and see us again.
Sure.
All right. Thank you. So I'm going to try to answer. I'm going to leave. Hello, Angela, Jean Jacques. I hope I said your name right. Forgive me if I didn't. All right. So how can we as Black people, get on board with the Green Party, and how can they appeal to us? Well, I'm going to quickly say the Green Party, just like any other party, needs to do what they say they're going to do, right? Nowadays, most parties aren't even saying they're going to really do anything specifically for Black people. That includes the Democrats, Republicans. The Green Party, yeah, they talked about reparations and things like that. Now, I didn't vote for the Green Party either. I never did say what I did politically, but I didn't vote for them because at the end of the day, they still had a white man at the helm of, the party. And Angela, I forget her name. She was a Black woman, the vice president. Running for vice president. Also, she was LGBTQ. Didn't disturb me a lot, but I just saw a lot of other holes in there. So as far as Black people to get on board with the Green Party gonna have to be about Black people too, right? Because like the Democrats, they benefit the most from Black voters, and they do nothing for Black voters. Now, I'm going to answer your question in just a minute, Angela, but I want to give it to Donovan in regards to the Green Party.
Well, again, we talk about the lesser of two evils. In a real democracy, you cannot just have two parties. Have you noticed that when any other party comes up, both of the parties that we have, Democrat and Republican, both attack any party coming up, because they do that because this game of political ping pong that they play with people, especially Black people, will not work. If you look at other democracies across the world, they have multiple parties, communists, socialists, whatever it is, and it's multiple parties. And if the government is not have confidence, it could be dissolved and new elections could be called and stuff like that. So a lot of you guys are already aware there's no difference between the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. There's no difference. They're both patriarchal white parties designed to keep white people on top and everybody else at the bottom. So we know that there's no difference, but we also understand that in a real democracy, which we do not live in, but they give you the hope and change, and this thing that you're part of this republic that's representing you. You have a Black Supreme Court justice that subverted the rule of law and what he was supposed to do. The guy sits at the Supreme Court, Clarence Thomas. Who gonna check me, boo? They have no regards for rail or anything of that nature. Politics is about power and influence. That is it. So in regards to the Green Party, giving your vote to the Democrats or giving your vote to the Republicans, it doesn't matter, because number one, you shouldn't be voting my interest, Demetra's interest. You should be voting your interest. So if the Republicans are offering you something that's going to benefit you, go to hell on and vote for those Republicans, and vice versa for the Democrats, and so on and so forth for the Green Party. I voted for the Green Party last election cycle for the simple fact that on their platform, they had certain things that I wanted that neither of the two major parties are even offering. So again, we as people have to get out of the mindset that we're monolithic. We are not monolithic. If we would be more of, I'm going to vote my interest, these two parties would work harder to get your vote. And we would get reparations. We would get this and we would get that. Demetra had a video the other day where the Democratic Party is saying for reparations, they want to give us some damn trees. Come on now.
Yes, indeed. All right. So, Miss Angela, once again, how are you doing? Who else came on here? The 5-star review. How are you? And anybody else that I did not acknowledge, I will try my best to get to you. If you guys are on Facebook and you see this, please click on the link if you want to join the conversation. And the link is open. You guys, I ask that if you come up, just kind of curtail your commentary just a little bit so that we can invite other people on. All right, Angela. Say, you can't believe that the Democrats are the evil party. Come on, man. Look at what the Republicans have done and are doing in Trump's honor. Well, they're both evil, Angela. Now, I'm going to assume that you're a Democrat, and it's fine. That's your right to be that. But you have been sold a pipe dream. You've been sold a pipe dream that the Democrats are the party of the people. The Democrats are the party of Black people. The Democrats help people. Well, ask yourself, how helped do you feel? And you look like a Black woman. As a Black woman here in America, even though you are the backbone, as they say, of the Democratic Party, what have they helped you do? Like, name me one thing that they've helped you specifically as a Black woman do. The Democrats, they have a president in the White House and they controlled the Congress, you know, up until recently. So what have they done for you? Black women in America die the most at childbirth. Is there something they can do, make legislation or something? I don't know, in order to save more Black women's lives? As Donovan said, Black women are the most evicted, facing the most homelessness in America. Can the Democrats, what have they done, you know, for that? Yeah, we hear about Karen Bass. She is a mayor of Los Angeles now, and she's trying to combat homelessness. But is any of that, in any of that, has she said, well, I'm going to specifically help Black women because I know there's probably more Black women out here homeless than anybody else. So again, as I say, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, but a lot of times we as Black people, we've got to unlearn the things that white supremacy has taught us, and tools of white supremacy has taught us. The tools are other Black people who keep ramming down our throats that the Democrats are our friends. You yourself, I'm imagining, watch Joe Biden as he was doing the acceptance speech for the presidency of the United States. What did he say? He says, Black people, you stood by me and I'm going to stand by you. He's 3 years into his presidency. What has he done for Black people? And Angela, I'm going to ask you if you can name just one thing specifically. Now, when I say specifically, I mean only for Black people, like he's only done for LGBTQ, like he's only done for Hispanics and Asians and everybody, the Afghans who aren't even citizens, and they weren't anyway, or from Ukrainians. What has he done for Black people specifically that you can say that the Democratic Party is the better party opposed to the Republicans? Now, I want to say this, because people tend not to listen with both ears when I say stuff like that. They automatically assume that because I am not a Democrat, and I've said I'm nonpartisan, I don't belong to any party, that because I say things about the Democrats, oh, well, you must be a Republican. That goes in the same vein of if you say, well, I don't go to church. Oh, my God, you must be an atheist. Well, where did I say I didn't believe in God? I just said I don't go to church. So we got to learn how to listen with both ears. But I'm going to go down to the bottom of the comment if you're still watching and see if you can list just one thing that the Biden administration or Democrats, I'll even open the field a little bit wider for you. The Democrats have done specifically for Black people that did not include everybody else. I'm going to wait and see. And as far as Trump's honor, I mean, the Republican Party were douchebags before Trump became the president. If you also know your history, Trump was a Democrat up until very recently. He said, and he was speaking to the gullibleness of Americans on Oprah Winfrey show, you know, I can probably run for Republican and win. And he's also going on to say, I could stand in the middle of the street and kill somebody and get away with it, right? So he wasn't speaking to him as being a deity. He was speaking to the stupidity of a lot of voters. And that's really on both sides. So I'm going to wait and see your comment.
Yeah, and then I just want to add, Angela, remember when the Democrats were running and Joe Biden was running, and they said, if we could get the Senate, we will repeal qualified immunity. They had one job to do. They got the Senate. We gave them the Senate, or you guys gave them the Senate, whatever. They're going to repeal qualified immunity.
I think you went on mute.
No, I'm just sitting here.
Oh.
What happened? They had the House, the presidency, and everything. We gave them the Senate and everything. What happened? Again, two wings of the same bird. I'm not saying the Democrats are any better than the Republicans, but how this game works is that's just how it works. That you got to ping pong. If you bring a third party into it, it won't work, because what they feel is you're in a trick bag. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You got to vote for one of us. And like everybody's been saying, evil is still evil. Yes, you're still voting evil. It doesn't matter how you look at it. But to say that the Democrats are less evil than the Republicans, I can show you just Dimitri just rattled off a few things just right there that shows you. And that's just the Democrats. We know what the Republicans are about. The Republicans don't hide what they're about. When they put their platform out there, it's out there. They saying, we ain't for blacks, we ain't for LGBTQ, we ain't for abortion. I mean, come on. And, you know, whatever your belief is or whatever, how do you say you're a Christian and you're not pro-life? I'm pro-life, and I'm just speaking for me. Pro-life to me means I don't believe in killing and abortions. I don't believe in killing when they're grown people and being killed. I believe in life sentences. That's pro-life. to me. So again, show me something to where the other party is more evil. More damage has been done to Black people by the Democratic Party by facts and statistics than the Republican Party. Believe that.
Absolutely. And if I didn't already, the Tony Bone, how you doing, Manrico? Let's see here. Kimberly, how are you? Buck Horse. Who else came on here that I did not see? And Eterna Ira, how are you? And everybody, and Rainy Washington, what's going on? So yeah, I'm going to close this one out. But as far as Justin Jones and Justin Pearson, I don't know. I'm still kind of on the fence, but I did not like what I saw. All that hollering and ranting and raving and, all that preaching he was doing, because as Donovan said, he didn't even say why are we excited? To me, I gave this analogy. I think I was talking to Donovan yesterday. That was the equivalent of, have y'all ever seen those videos that people do? It's like a group of Black people, right? And one Black person will take off running. And then everybody else will take off running with them. They don't know why they running. They just running, right? That's what it reminded me of. He's preaching. Everybody's like, well, yeah. All right now. Yeah. It's like, well, what are you agreeing to? Do you even know? You're just doing it. And I guess maybe it was infectious. They caught up in the moment. But when all the dust settles, it's like, now why were we yelling again? Can somebody tell me what exactly? Like, what were we running from?
Right. And again, look at Kamala Harris. Do you guys realize overwhelmingly Black people rejected Kamala Harris in her bid for the presidency? Kamala Harris, again, the Black bone of the Democratic Party, Black women demanded that a Black woman be vice president, right? And they picked her. She wasn't voted in. If Kamala Harris ran for president right now, she would lose in a landslide against anybody in the Republican Party, because she was chosen. People now see her record. Demetra and I, years ago, when she first announced, we were one of the first ones to tell everybody, hey, she ain't going to win. You might as well just go ahead and don't even waste your vote on that. I mean, come on now. She was chosen. Why she was chosen by Joe Biden? She's a Black woman, and the formula works for the Democratic Party. And what has Kamala Harris done since she's been vice president? They give her the hardest tasks, fix the border, whatever. I mean, to me, if she had any aspirations of being anything, they just ruined it for her by putting her in the vice presidency. They just ruined it because she's doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah, they set her up because they didn't want her to do it anyway, but they needed the Black vote. And so they even said that a lot of the Democrats don't even want her to run again on the 2024 ticket. And they said it'd be the first time in history that the vice president has not come along with the incumbent. So that goes to show you right there how they really felt about her. But then the other thing is, y'all, what other Negro y'all gonna get to use, in her place to get the Black vote? Because whether they like it or not, there's a lot of people who like Kamala for absolutely no reason at all other than her, being what they say that she says she is. I'm just gonna go with it. A Black woman that can put on some chucks and pearls and skew-eat with the best of them. I don't know. You know what I mean? Y'all keep saying she's not Black. I just go along with what she said. If she green, she ain't doing nothing for Black people. You know what I mean? Big Rich, how you doing? Says the reason why she became vice president is because she is not Black. She's Asian. And the reason why Barack Obama became president is because he's not Black. His daddy was African and his mama was white. Well, he's Black African. He's not, I guess what you say, African American, even though he was born in Hawaii. So they say. So he's kind of African American, even though he's probably first generation, if that makes any sense. All right. And Moni says Texas has been passing a lot of BS. Demetra, Donovan, I would love to hear your take on Ron DeSantis passing more bills that seem to kick out realistic books but stop Black authors from writing good books. So Ron DeSantis is in Florida. He is the governor of Florida. I don't care what book they put on the shelf. I really don't. But I ain't going to trust white supremacy to teach my child nothing. Any book that I want my child to learn or knowledge to have, I'm going to make sure she has it from home. I never trusted the white school system to teach my daughter about who she is anyway. So it don't matter to me.
And again, here we go with a deflection in the Black community. We're worried about the books and all this stuff like that, but yet statistically, most of our kids in school read at a 6th grade level because of the failing school systems. And we're worried about books that might be on the shelf or whatever. How many of you guys, not you guys, but friends of yours and stuff like that, when I was growing up, my mom made sure I had to read current events to her, and I had to, read a book to her if I was assigned a book and do a book report, whatever the deal is, right? Come on, let's be real. We give our kids they don't read. They don't read. So I'm not saying it's a good thing, but we fight and we argue over stuff that we know in our hearts is BS. It's another distraction to keep us looking over here. When, if we really gave a damn, Demetra, there's an old saying, and it's been around for years. If you want to hide something from a black person, what do?
They say put it in the book.
There's some truth to that, you guys. I'm sorry. There's just some truth to that. We don't read as a people or overall.
Well, we read, but we don't read as much as we should, right? We should be reading more and more things that are going to actually teach us something opposed to not. All right. So this one, let's see who else has something to say before I go on. Super Patriot says, I'm old school. We have the encyclopedia, man. Can you remember them knocking on the door selling those encyclopedias? It's like, well, what happens next year?
Yeah, there's always a newer version and stuff like that. But I used to like to read the shark pages and the animals and tigers and stuff. So, but I used to read all encyclopedia. I love it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Mr. Easy asked us to talk about this. Now, you guys might have seen this. It's of Mark Taylor. He's a football coach. I guess he has a football academy somewhere in Macon, Georgia. And he decided to film himself being himself, I guess, one night in Atlanta. I'm going to play a video for you all so that you guys can see it. And I'm going to play this version because the uncut version is a lot. So I'll try to fill it in as best I can after you guys watch this video. So let me put it up through the back door. Let's see. Where is it? Okay, here it is. Here we go. Oops, I thought it was going to play by itself. Hold on a second. Old school. Here we go.
Ain't seen a white person in sight.
The video appears to show athletic coach Mark Taylor make racist remarks while riding through the streets of Atlanta. He claims he was here for a conference.
Homeless ones on the street. Every restaurant looking in here is black. Every car beside them is black. But they can have it now.
According to the business website, Taylor owns and operates Speed Edge Sports, a training camp in Macon that has been operating out of a space rented from a local Christian school. Taylor trained up-and-coming athletes. Many are black.
Little boy need to come up here and go hunting. Ain't nothing here, dog. Ain't nothing but blacks up here.
I was absolutely dumbfounded in disbelief that this is 2023.
Leader of New Birth Missionary Baptist Church in Metro Atlanta, Dr. Jamal Bryant, he's one of many across the state calling for action. The Georgia NAACP warned.
I don't know why it's not showing y'all the video. This is StreamYard. It sucks, nevertheless, but can y'all hear it anyway? Or was it showing me? Can y'all can hear it? Okay, I don't know what's going on with this. It's crazy. I'll play it though. Here we go.
One of many across the state calling for action. The Georgia NAACP wants the GBI to investigate as Taylor is heard in the video threatening to hang an African-American woman and later on threatens to throw one of them out of a 14-story window at his hotel.
Dr. King said it was the silence of our friends that is most disturbing.
Taylor claims to have relationships with several colleges, including UGA, Alabama, and Auburn. Bryant says if that's true, he worries about the many African Americans he is coming into contact with.
I think that he owes the Black African American community a wholehearted apology. I think that those universities need to distance themselves from him.
As for the Christian school where Taylor was renting space, they sent a statement saying in part that they're shocked and that there is no room for racism. They say although he was just renting a space, they have ended their relationship with.
Okay. So again, I apologize. It wasn't playing, but you can hear it. So that was Mark Taylor. He actually was filming himself going around Atlanta and different restaurants talking about, look at this, all blacks. It's gone to the blacks. Basically, they can have it. He also got into a confrontation with a black woman on the street somehow, and he basically told her he was gonna, hang her. He also used the N word 11 times throughout his rant when he was in a hotel room. I don't know, he was pretending like he was talking to somebody, room service, I don't know, but he was filming the whole thing, which is weird. He was ordering up 2 hoes, is what he said. One or 2 hoes, one black, I guess, one white, and then the black one he would throw out of a 14-story window, and horrible, right? So as you heard there, the Christian university that he was renting out of, they've ended relationships with him. But I don't know how instrumental he is in the NFL. It sounds like he is, that he's perhaps trained a lot of players to go there. And as I said, predominantly his students or clients, if you will, are black. Now, you also heard the voice of Pastor Jamal Bryant was, saying he wanted a full, wholehearted apology. And I wanted to throw up when he said that. Also, he needs to suffer some consequences for what he said. But I'm going to just give y'all my short commentary. And you guys, the link is open if y'all want to, chime in on this. My commentary is simple. Why are we more mad at that white man who is doing what white men do, some of them, a lot of them, than we are the black players that are playing for him, whether they're learning, training, whatever? Why are we putting the responsibility on the white man not to be white? What are those black students and athletes and all the black people that are associated with him? Are they going to withdraw from his academy? Are they going to help him go bankrupt? Because we know the ultimate goal for anybody playing football, for the most part, especially if they've gone out of college and all that, is to become an NFL player. Now, the NFL is predominantly like black players, right? Like 70% or so of the players are black. So if those black players would say, you know what, we're good, not on our watch until the NFL. But see, we've seen the NFL not really do anything about racism. Now, I ain't talking about painting BLM in the end zone and having Negroes wear, Black Lives Matter. And I ain't talking about that stuff. I'm talking about some real, and I'm bringing Jay-Z on, talking about we're past kneeling and, bringing Rihanna on for the Super Bowl. But we ain't talking about that. We're talking about the NFL saying, all right, this is our plan to combat racism. We were wrong with Kaepernick and all the other players who spoke out and did whatever on the behalf of black people, until black people, because I think, especially with Kaepernick, that whole thing would have been over in a week if all the black players would have said, you know what, we're going to go on vacation until the NFL get their stuff together. But see, the problem is a lot of black athletes, especially in the NFL, have been conditioned, run the ball so you can get that money. Tune out of everything else that matters, like racism should matter, right? The other thing is, why was that white man so comfortable filming himself? Now, I don't know. Was he filming it for himself, his friends? Did he think he was private? Like, what was going on and who shared it, right? So why was he so comfortable saying those things? And it wasn't just no, oops, well, what I meant was, nah, he was talking about lynching black women, throwing them out of 14-story windows, and just mad that black people are in Atlanta, So that wasn't no accident. So why was he so comfortable? You know why he was comfortable? Because black people ain't gonna do nothing but bump gums. That's it. And get Pastor Jamal Bryant, who is problematic to me. He'll get up there and he'll speak to it because he's out of Atlanta, so I guess he's the go-to Negro to speak on black issues in Atlanta. They'll get him, to say different things, but I never once heard him say black players withdraw from his program. And in fact, Atlanta Falcons, all you Negroes that's running the ball, don't run the ball until they do something about this white man that's very racist and talking about harming black women. So I don't know. Donovan, what say you?
But okay, I agree with everything that you said, 100%. But again, we have to know this, and it's so sad within every community, is this. What I won't do, somebody else will. And that's the sad thing about it. somebody is going to step up and make those dollars, or even at a lesser charge. They call them scabs. Remember when the NFL had lockouts, the NBA had lockouts, if they would bring in the replacement players? There's always going to be somebody hungry and wanting to do that. And I'm not making that as an excuse. But, we talk about being on code and all this other stuff. Unfortunately, in our community, we have been so brainwashed by the colonizer to fight each other and to be jealous of each other. It's just so sad. Crabs in a basket. We don't want to see the other do better than us, and we'd rather, bring that person down or whatever. But my thing is this. I was born in the South, but I'm from California. And what I don't understand is when I go to the South, and I told Demetra this about the hometown that I'm from, my birth town that I'm from. You have the black side of the track. There's a train track. You have the black side and you have the white side. The black side, hell up in Harlem. I mean, it's just jacked up on this side, right? But on the white side, it's pristine like the old South. I mean, Brer Rabbit, old Uncle Remus, everybody. And mentally, the Black people will not cross that train track to cause any problems. It's crazy. So I say that to say this. We are so brainwashed that you're in the South where the Ku Klux Klan started and slavery was very prevalent. And you're surprised that a white man is saying what he's saying on video? I'm from California and I wasn't surprised. I'm like, okay, that's what they do. Come on.
Easy E, how are you? Let me unmute you. There you go. Easy.
Hey D, how you doing?
I'm well. It is a pleasure to finally hear your voice. How are you?
I'm great. Hope your birthday was well.
It was. You got a little bit of noise in your background.
Yes, I'm having a little technical difficulties here.
Okay, we hear you a little bit better now.
Okay. Okay. Yes, D, I wanted to talk about that, but thanks for bringing that on. But it just goes to show you how our people, man, will just not. We just will not. These people continue to show us themselves, and we still will stay aligned with them and defend them to the end. And when are we going to wake up as a people and see that we're being used, we've been used, they continue to use us? This guy is so connected with all this football program, all the SEC schools throughout Georgia, Alabama, that area. This guy is connected. He's a racist. What racists do is they hire racists. So if they get rid of this guy is he's really not, it's not going to hurt him because he's well taken care of. He's well connected, and But anyway, I think I'm having some problems technically here. I can't.
Yeah, but we can kind of barely hear you. Okay, go ahead now. Oh. So yeah, Easy, come back when I don't know. It almost sounds like a hammer drill or something like that was behind you. So come back on when you can or whatever. We were interested to hear what you have to say. But yeah, it sounds like it was like a jackhammer or something like that that was behind you. So yeah, I'm just reading you guys' comments. But yeah, I mean, to me, it's really simple. It's not on that white man to not be who he is. It's on us to stop being around people like that. And Honorable Elijah Muhammad told us that years ago. Stop being all up and around them like that, but one day we'll listen. But that man ain't gonna suffer no real consequences because, a lot of us gonna shove our children in the program with them. Oh, yeah, I don't care. Like that lady who says, I don't care about the infusion. I'm just gonna stick my arm out. I'm gonna take the infusion and I'm not gonna ask what's in the infusion. I'm just gonna do it. And of course, y'all know what the infusion was,
Yeah, and you got to remember this too, you guys, especially those of you guys, not Demetra, because she just turned 36, but people my age in their 50s and stuff. My mom sent me to Catholic school, right? We're Catholics, it's a private school. You get, more attention, not as many kids in it, whatever, right? But you got to understand, parents back in those days, they're conditioned to, and they thought that if you went to the white school, it was better. How many of you guys got bused to the white schools in the early 70s? You know, and it's really funny because I really sit here sometimes and I think, why would my parents bus me and put me in a hostile environment? And they didn't go through that themselves. But in their mind, they felt that a better education with white people was better. And thus, you know, that mindset trickles down to the next generation and to the next generation and to the next generation until, you know, somebody wakes up. In college, I took a class called critical thinking. But growing up, I was always kind of a rabble rouser and asked questions of my mom and kind of pushed against the envelope because I was like, why am I the only black guy in this school? And, you know, if you really think about it, now that I'm thinking about it, really, you know, how damaged am I to have gone to a school where the only other black person I saw was my brother? But that's how they thought, regardless of the damage I was going to sustain or we would sustain as children psychologically and whatever, this is a better school. How many of you guys know Clarence Thomas, the Supreme Court judge? He was raised around white people all of his life. He went to the white school, just like I described just now. Is it a surprise that he married a crazy white woman? No, it's no surprise. Is it a surprise that he thinks the way that he does in regards to black issues? Because remember, when he got voted on there under a Republican, the first Bush, oh, yes, Clarence Thomas, the first, you know, the black judge that's going to take Thurgood Marshall's spot. That man has done everything against the black community that you can imagine. I wonder why.
Absolutely. All right. We're going to go to this other topic, okay? Now, only reason I'm really kind of talking about it today because some of y'all and Donovan and I talk about certain things regarding relationships and things like that on Tuesday, which is not a live show. I read the comments and you're like, oh, we should have talked about this when it was, you know, live. I would like to, you know, talk about it or whatever the case is. So I got to eat my Wheaties or something because I already know. And Black America ain't showed up yet. I don't know. He might be lurking somewhere. But anyway, let me go ahead and put this up. Let me try
Wait
to
a minute. Black American's supposed to be on his way to Houston. He didn't call you up yet?
I ain't heard nothing from him. Okay. All right. I will put this picture up for you all because I'm sure y'all have been seeing a lot about it. I have to go the old school way, remember? Okay, here we go. Bam. All right. Now, this is just a picture. So some of y'all might be wondering, well, who are these people? Let me move this here so y'all can see the bottom picture. All right. Who are these people on the screen? Well, I'm just learning about them too, so bear with me. Now, the gentleman in the picture at the top is Archrat Hakimi. Now, he is a football player from Morocco. And it sounds like they did very well during the last World Cup. I don't know if they won, but it sounds like they did very well. Okay. Now, he is worth about $24 million. Okay. Now, and he's 24, I might add, he's 24. Now, his wife, Heba, I think that's how you say her name, she's 36, and she filed for divorce. Now, they have 2 children together. Now, when she filed for divorce, through court proceedings, she found out that she can't get anything because he put most of his assets in his mama's name, and her name is Sadia. So his mother's name, and she is the beneficiary of his salary. So it sounds like she gets like 80% of his salary. She's the it goes in her name. So his wife, Heba, was seeking half. Okay, half, like Eddie Murphy, half. Seeking half of his $24 million fortune. But she's getting nothing because he doesn't have anything technically on paper, right? Now, Heba is an actress, and she is, they say, is Spanish, but she is Tunisian and Libyan. But she, I don't know, was born somewhere else, which they say she's Spanish, okay? Now, she's worth about $2 million. Now, there's been these speculations that he is going to be entitled to half of her fortune. Now, as I was reading, I didn't see anything that he was going after her fortune. Some experts are saying that he probably wouldn't because she's the mother of his children. Probably wouldn't want to leave her, with half or whatever. Now, seeing a lot of people celebrating, yes, oh yes, he's a smart man. She's a gold digger, and that's what she gets. All right. Now, if I hadn't said the woman that's kissing him, that is his mother, and she's always at his games. I guess this picture was very infamous or famous on the internet for the, kissing him and all this other stuff. Okay. Now people are cheering him on. He's a hero of the manosphere, I guess. I don't know. However, a lot of people are leaving off the fact that this man has been accused of graping, and y'all know what that means, a 24-year-old woman that he paid to come to his home while his wife and children were away on, as they say, holiday. Okay, this happened earlier this year. He's been accused of that. Now, when I add that into the story, I wonder if that changes your mind, because I'm asking questions. I don't ever have a lot of commentary right now. I'm just telling y'all what I've learned. And I'm going to ask you, does it change your mind that this woman who was his wife now wants to divorce him because he's accused of raping a 24-year-old that he invited to his home while his wife and children were not at home? Now, I am going to open the link. It's on YouTube. Click on it. Please show me your face and all of that. If I don't know who you are already, show me your face. I want your commentary. Let's kind of be brief because I think a lot of people will try to come up. And ladies, I would like to hear from you guys this week. Don't be shy. Let's hear your input. But Donovan, after all of what I just said, what say you?
Man, oh man, oh man. This is a very, very hard thing. Okay. In regards to the graping incident, I don't know the particulars of it. And even if that was true, two different incidences. Okay. You can't, and I don't believe you should infer this incident to another incident of them getting divorced. Now, if she's getting divorced because of infidelity, hey, so be it. It is what it is. But here's the thing. We talk about equality. Equality. He's put the money in his mother's name. He's living off 20% with him and his wife. She's entitled to half of the 20%. That's equality, ladies. This is what you guys have been fighting for. And it's just, and I know it's unpopular to you ladies, but this is what is going to start happening in regards to the equality situation. You guys want it. Guys are going to start doing this and start doing that. And then you guys are going to be up a paddle with no creek, you know what I mean? Or whatever, however you say that thing. I don't see anything wrong with what he did. It was legal to do. She's still well taken care of. Again, Kanye West was ordered to pay $200,000 a month to his wife, who's a billionaire. Come on, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So until the laws start making sense, it's just going to be tit for tat all the way down the pipe.
Yeah. So I mean, I saw this trending a couple days ago, and I saw everybody and their mama had an opinion. Oh, he's a hero. Listen, I don't know. People can accuse you of, and I'm using graping because, YouTube is tripping. Graping people, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. Now, did he invite that woman to his house where his wife and children lived with him? Okay. If those things are true, outside of what he's been accused of, is that lady not entitled? And I'm just asking questions. I'm not giving my opinion just yet. Is that lady not entitled to ask for a divorce and ask that he help take care of her and the children, since he has substantially more? And so she thought. Now, I will say this. I am going to continue this conversation on Wednesday with Walter from a wealth point of view and, making certain money moves type of thing. So we'll get more in depth with that on Wednesday.
Fellas, tune in Wednesday. We might get some tips.
Right. But I'm just saying, but is she not entitled to do that? Because in some places that I've read, and I would say a lot of places, she's actually been demonized as being the villain. You know, so I'm just asking questions. Again, the link is open, but I'm going to read these comments. Let's see here. Kimmy, how you doing? Melanated Mantra, what's going on with you? You say wise man. Tracy say smart move on this point. Super Patriot say he's instantly my hero. Craig, you say right, smart move. And Brother Jonell says that's his mama stuff, chess move. Right, you know, and sounds like his mom, she had the foresight to say, okay, mind you, he is 24. She's 12 years older than he is, she being his wife. So maybe the mom was like, we gonna do some things the right way.
And even though they're in another,
hold on, Steven Seagal, I would like to give somebody else an opportunity to come on and give their input if you do not mind, and if no one else comes on, please do. But I want to give somebody else an opportunity. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, you got to remember that that's also another country. Now, here in the Western country of the United States, I can't speak on any other Western country. You do not need a legitimate reason to leave your marriage. Not like the old days. They changed the rules in the 50s and the 60s or whatever the deal is. And unfortunately, it has basically incentivized people to leave their marriages over frivolous or little or nothing, the way they feel or whatever. And it wasn't always like that. And in these other countries, ladies and gentlemen, where the patriarchy is strong and they deal with traditional values, you know, it's a little different over there. Like I said, you know, we think the American way is the way it is. It's not. The majority of the world believes in traditional values, and it's very hard to leave a marriage unless you have a reason. So if she has, and I believe she does have a good reason, if it's infidelity and whatever, she just can't walk away because she feels a certain way. I don't know, but
I think it has a little bit more to do with her feeling a certain way, because I think that's the narrative that a lot, and I've heard this a lot, and I'm saying from the manosphere, and Kevin Samuel started those talking points that is mostly the woman that leaves the marriage. And, you know, for, as you said, any old frivolous reason, well, you know, I think if my husband brought a woman home to where I live and my children, I don't think that's a frivolous reason. You know what I mean? And so I keep seeing, no doubt how you doing, says we don't want to hear that and we don't believe it. And my business, I think that's what that means. It says, where's the trial? How you doing? I'm going to look, but I did see that there is an ongoing case of him being accused of that. Now, was he charged? Let me actually go ahead and see if he was charged. And I'm looking it up now. And Super Patriot says, if that's if it's true, yes. And then Asha, how you doing? Says he'll find another white woman to give it to. Well, damn.
You know, and I have a question with this too. And you know, and it's a good point. It's a good point. A man of means, and I've said this before, if you make $60,000, ladies and gentlemen, do you know you are in the top 20% of people in the world if you make $60,000? The top 20%, you're in the top 20 of people in the world if you make $60,000. So if this guy's making $1 million, okay, I'm not a woman or whatever, but you would think that this man has options. You know, do you see what I'm saying? With guys that are like that, I'm not saying it's right. You know, it's not for me to decide what's right or wrong. But if I'm a multi-billionaire, okay, let me do it where we kind of understand it. P. Diddy, man of means, has multiple children everywhere, pees on women. He does that because he's a man of means. And I'm not saying that women should put up with it, but some women will put up with it. You've got women in the United States and all over the place that are going to go to Dubai to do nefarious things over there because they have money. It's just a sad thing. And all I'm saying is if I was married to a woman that had billions and trillions of dollars, I might have to put up with certain things to stay with this woman or be with this woman. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying, wouldn't that make sense?
So I'm looking here and it says, prosecutors in Paris, I guess that's where it was. I don't know. It actually says his, I can't pronounce it, his home somewhere else. Says the player was indicted by a judge and placed under judicial supervision. And I'm just looking here. And I should say that he, of course, has denied that he has done those things to her. Said he was questioned. This was back in March because it happened in February. Questioned. It says he was then indicted by an investigating judge and placed under judicial supervision. He is prohibited from contacting the alleged victim, 24-year-old woman who says she was raped, if you will, by him on Saturday at his home in Paris suburb. Hakimi is allowed to leave French territories, prosecutors said. Of course, he said he firmly denies the accusations against him and that he was the victim of an attempted racket. So I guess she's maybe trying to extort him or something is what he's saying. He's placing his trust in the judicial system. Let's see here. Of course, the lawyer for the victim is saying, my client maintains everything that she said. She made the choice to speak exclusively to prosecutors and does not want the affair to become a media issue, mainly to protect her safety. I'm just reading y'all what I'm learning on the fly, so just bear with me. Just kind of giving some stats about him. So that's what I see so far. So it wasn't just from what I see an accusation of like, oh, well, we don't believe it. Go away. It looks like it is under investigation. He was indicted from what I can see. So that's what it is. And I see somebody saying it was a side chick. Yeah, it probably was. And I'm not saying that he actually did that. But did he bring that woman to his home where his wife and children lived? I don't know. Doesn't sound like.
According to Tasha Scott, they're in an open relationship. We don't know.
Now, see, you're lying. You're lying to kick it. And yes, Turner, he is innocent until proven guilty. I wasn't there. I don't know if he did it or not. But it sounds like his wife did not stand by him through the allegations. It sounds like, she was like, I ain't with it, or whatever the case is. And so, again, his wife has been made the villain. She's been made the villain and has been accused of, something that's horrible. But if he didn't do it, did he invite this woman into his home? And should his wife stick around for that? I mean, kind of what I'm hearing is like, I don't know if that's a willy-nilly kind of frivolous thing. You know what I mean? All right. So Melanated Montre says, I'm not down with the grape. I'm glad. I'm glad to hear that. And let's see here. And Samuel, how are you doing? He says, like I said, who are they? They sound like plants. Another Stacy. You talking about? So you're watching. You're actually watching about the Justins. Says Stacy from Georgia using them to get black vote. Yes, indeed. And Joanne, you say the grape is wrong if he did it, but when you're in love, that's when you need all your wits about you, because Satan don't mind. Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I think it was wise. His wife is 12 years older than him. I could see where his mom was coming from. Like, all right, boy, you got puppy love, But while you having some puppy love, go on and put, let me put, mom, put your money away for you a little bit, just in case it's safe, So I get that. I'm not mad at that. I think mama has read a lot of newspapers and seen a lot of cases of a lot of people getting rooked, taken to the bank, half. And I always say this about Juanita Jordan. Juanita Jordan don't count. Juanita was there before he was Michael Jordan, and she gave that man a copious amount of times get his act together. So I think that she, I may have 3 children or 2. But anyway.
No, 3. You're right. They have 3 together.
I think she deserved half. I mean, it's like how much did this woman endure?
She did. She built with him. She did. When a couple's built together, yes, they deserve half of whatever they built together. But always remember this. Mama, you're the queen of my heart. Woman's a genius.
Melanated Mantra says Moroccans don't consider themselves black. Let's keep it moving. Some of them don't. Some of them do. Hell, there's some black people that don't consider themselves black. But nevertheless, it's a story that we are talking about. As I said, we're going to talk a little bit more about it on Wednesday with Walter from a financial point of view. Jan Michael, he says, we must remember this occurs in different countries, not America. Yes, we know that. It occurred in a different country. But I think just, the whole thing of it, of the mama being involved, you know, I think it was a smart move, you know, but I don't agree that the wife should be demonized, especially if he did bring another woman into their home. You know what I mean? And then Craigie says, taking care of the children. Uh, yes, her, no. Well, I mean, yeah, it sounds like she got her own money, even though she was trying to get half. And then I think a lot of that too was probably spite or you know, scorn. You know, we together, you out there bringing other women to our house. I mean, come on now. See, that's the thing about I ain't gonna say y'all men because I don't want to come off like that, even though I really do deep down inside. I'm gonna tread lightly. Is some of y'all think y'all should be able to do whatever y'all want to do to women, and she's supposed to just say, no matter what you do, Jim Bob, I'ma stick by you. No, that ain't the case. Because had she been in America, he might have got some hot grits poured on him behind bringing a strumpet rather, to my house. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Well, let me ask you this: so are you saying that that's more like a feminine thing or a woman thing? Because you see white women that stick by their man no matter what they do. And I'm not making a thing. I'm just asking, is it a woman thing to where you guys stick together or, you know, supposed to just do these things or what? How does that work?
Wait, let me see now let me drink some water. But I as I say in the nation, think 5 times before you speak.
I'm just asking the question.
Because I don't want this to come on. Because you wanted to say, but you did, you backed up off it. Is it basically, I don't know, a black woman? Because you started to say white women don't do this. Brother, have you heard of the burning bed? Have you heard of Lorena Bobbitt? Have you heard of Lizzie Borden? And all the other white women that took the life of their man for doing something they deemed to be crazy. So we ain't going to put this on black women. And is it a woman thing? We hear about men doing stuff all the time to women, shooting places up and choking them out, a whole host of things. So this is not a gender thing. I think it's an emotion thing. Nobody likes to be cheated on. And if you're out there cheating on people, what you must realize is you don't get to dictate how that person receives that. See, in your cheating mind, you're like, well, you should just pick up the pieces. Whoopie the F dude. Now, mind you, those are responses that I got from people who cheated on me. But you don't get to decide how I process that. Now, some people might say, you know what, you're right, whoopie the F dude. I'm going to pick up the pieces. And some people might be like, I'm going to pick up some scissors and make sure you don't put your piece in nobody else. I'm not saying it's right, though. I'm not saying
right. So my question is, that doesn't necessarily give universally women the opportunity to take half the money, depending on what the situation is, right?
Who says that gives them the opportunity to universally do that? But my thing is this, brother. If you want your money, then keep your thing out of other people's honey. It's just that simple.
No, it's not that simple because we don't know the dynamics of the relationship. We don't.
It is that simple, right? Because people get into these marriages not calculating the cost of not remaining in that marriage, especially if you do something that you puts your marriage in jeopardy, like cheating, whether it's the man or the woman or whatever it is. Now, a lot of cases it's no fault, states or whatever, but some of it is. And so if you got a lot of money and you can't keep your thing in your pants, then you might want to do like this man did. Hey, mama, I'm a trick. I'm going to be out there tricking. Hold my money in case she try to come after it. You know what I'm saying? At least he was smart about it in that respect. But don't do somebody dirty and then be mad because they're like, I'm going to get some get back on your ass. Now, is the get back wrong? Probably. But did you protect yourself? I mean, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying, we don't know the dynamics of their situation. We don't know, so but at the end of the day, though, what I'm saying is this, regardless of how they leave the marriage, the man should take care of his responsibilities and put it to a point where it should be fair for both parties. Again, you've got some women and some people in the United States, marriage is incentivized to take the other person's assets. That's just how it is.
Right. I mean, yeah. So how you doing, LS? I mean, and yeah, it's true. but there's a lot of men that have gotten assets from women as well. Now, I would venture to say it's probably more the other way around, with women getting more assets or whatever the case is. But, you know, I just feel like if you're going to be out there acting, doing some dirty stuff, protect yourself. In case, you know, it comes up to something like this, you can say, well, I ain't got nothing, baby, you know.
Right, exactly. Well, again, for those of you guys who haven't heard, the Freaknik thing is the documentary on Hulu is coming out. Demetra, are you sweating? Are you worried? Some of you ladies in there, are y'all worried? The Freaknik video's coming out. Sunlight, I know you went to Freaknik. So, no,
let me ask this better question. See, this is why I'm gonna piss y'all off, okay? And I'm here for it today, okay? I got a lot of rest yesterday. Donovan, are you worried? Because just as like y'all putting it on the women about, you know, dotting and strumpeting and all that stuff at Freaknik, are you worried that you might be perceived as a predator?
Absolutely not, because I was a victim. When that guy touched my butt, I reported it.
Lord.
Absolutely not.
Lord have mercy. I mean, I'm just saying, you know, y'all talking about the aunties now that's scared that they're going to be highlighted. But what about the dudes that was, you know, doing some things they should not have been doing? I mean, I don't know. In a lot of cases, in places, there's no statute limitations on that type of stuff. So what if, you know, they come up and they're like, oh, wait a minute, he out there doing some stuff he shouldn't be doing. We should prosecute him. You know what I mean? Because we should indict, if we're going to indict the women, then we need to indict the men too. See, I know how y'all like to get down. Y'all like to charge the women with everything and then put the halos on the men. But it's like, nah, everybody was out there. Well, not everybody, but some people were out there doing way more than they should have been doing.
Absolutely. So in answer to my question, you are not concerned or worried.
I was no pod.
I don't know. When I saw a video clip and there was a girl moving with them big melons, I said, "Is that Demetra?"
Nope.
It's from behind. I couldn't tell.
No parts of Atlanta for me. No. I'm a good girl. Not that they wasn't being good girls, you know, some of them, but I'm a good girl. All right, so I'm just reading through these comments. So yeah, you talked about Diddy. I don't know. It sounds like maybe he's got his assets in his mama's name. I don't know. Kiki says, personally, I think it's an insult for men to feel like a man with money is synonymous to cheating. Not all men with money cheat. Yeah, I totally agree. But that's that bull cocker. He got some money. You know, he gonna be out there. You know. Boy, I tell you, I'm just gonna read these comments. And Joanne, it says, men of means, Donovan, pay. Just saying, pay the consequences. Oh. All right. And I'm just reading through the comments. I know I'm a little bit behind, so let me catch up a little bit. All right, let me catch all the way up. Rain, so you're talking to Asha. And Ragnar says, no, sir, I'm waiting on your example of Justice Thomas making a judgment against Black people. Okay, so I'm assuming y'all talking that out in the comment section. Are you? Okay. Dusty Hotep, if I didn't already, how you doing? Says, damn it, leave Al Green out of this. I'm just saying, in America, you probably get some high grits on you. You know what I mean? Something. But to say that white women wasn't doing that, shoot, white women got, yeah, if I say, Lorena Bobbitt, right now, all you men, you know, squeeze your legs tight. Just thinking about it. Can you imagine? You're snip. And then, wait a minute. Wait. Not only did she snap his Johnson off, she threw it out the window.
And you know what? They should have locked her under the jail. And she wasn't white, by the way. She was from another country.
Whatever. Okay. It was a white man she did it to, nevertheless. And she threw it out the window in the dirt. They had to find it.
She jammed it in the sunroof. There was all kinds of stuff. I think Martin Lawrence did a comedy clip on his album about that.
I mean, I'm just saying, you know, you talking about white women, they like, come on now. Better be happy she didn't bake it in a casserole or something.
No, but okay, wait. In all seriousness, when I was talking about white women, you through history, remember like in Roots when Chicken George's father would go down to visit Kizzy and the white woman was like, like she knew what was going on, but she kept silent about it. You know, she didn't really, not much she could do about it, you know?
Yeah, and Melanated Mantra says, never bring a side chick to the marital home. That's not alpha. Yeah, I mean, this lady's supposed to say, oh, well, I hope you had a wonderful stay at my humble abode. I hope you use my toiletries too. I have some good perfume that I just think you'll love. Did you teach him something new in our bed? Come on now. Let's just keep it real. Like, what universe are we in? It's crazy. And Brother Marcus, she says, would share, but Facebook has me blocked. Seems like they pass, they are pissed, I think you meant about the post. Yikes. Facebook tripping like that? I'm sorry to hear that. Kiki, you say, see how it takes certain circumstances for the lies to tell their own truth? Super Pager says, every time I hear about hot grits, my soul hurts. I mean, it should. Well, I should say with Al Green, it wasn't even his woman. It was somebody who was having some mental issues that it doesn't even sound like he really knew like that. Just threw some hot grits on him. Of course, the urban legend is that was his woman. She was mad at him and she threw some hot grits on him, but it doesn't even sound like he even knew her. So, yeah, Tracy says, watch the TV show Snap. There's a whole plethora of white women on there doing some weird stuff. You're welcome, B. Griffin. And Craig says, yes, white women do it to men. I've seen men do some wild stuff when they get cheated on. Okay. And Sunlight says, yes, it's not a gender thing. Most things aren't. People make them seem that way, clearing my throat. Donovan. All right, so let me move on down. Nancy, I don't know what you're watching, but you said a bunch of yelling. I tend to be a little bit loud, so, cover your ears. Impervious 93, how you doing? 99. How you doing? It says, women feel they are entitled to men's money no matter the reason of divorce. Marriage is a hustle. Advise all men to protect their money. Yeah, I see what some people say. It's a hustle. It depends on who you ask. Yeah. But I think people should protect themselves, especially if you got a lot to lose. But more than anything, plan to stay in the marriage. And as they say in the nation, settle down to a good choice. A lot of people ain't courting no more. A lot of people just running around and jumping in over the broom with any and everybody, jumping in the bed with any and everybody. And then hell, if you don't get married, you might put a baby in somebody. Then they're getting you for child support. So it's like, honestly, if you are that man of means and you got something to lose, why wouldn't you protect yourself? Why would you willy-nilly stick your stuff in a woman who may get you for everything you have? Like, that doesn't even make sense to me. You know what I mean? It just doesn't. Super Patriot says, I heard one lady mix water and sugar and heated it up. All right, so let me see. Let me skip down. Simone say, never let her see you sweat. Anita, how are you doing? Lonnie says, Demetrius is correct on this one. The young man who was smart enough to have everything in his mama's name, that's a beautiful thing until the mother passes away. Then what? I'm glad his assets are protected. And she makes a good point. Whose name will it go in next of you when your mama died? God forbid she does. But then what? Who else is going to protect your assets while you out there tricking?
Yeah, and better hope your mama doesn't remarry or something like that. Now all that money goes to that guy.
You know what I'm saying? He'd be like, he put it on her real good, right? Put it on his mama real tough. That's our money. Your son don't need all this. You're so right, honey. I mean, there's a lot of ways to think about this. You know what I mean? Jan Michael says, in America, divorce is always weaponized, period. I don't know if it's always weaponized. It is sometimes, depending on who you're married to. Mr. Pirate Brain, how you doing? Long time no see. He says, I was in Argentina during Freaknik laughing my black ass off. Sounds like you were safe, but what was you doing over there, brother? LS, how are you doing this fine evening? LS? LS, hello, hello, is it me you're looking for? I don't think he there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back on mute till it fully low. Hold on.
Okay, I can hear you now.
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
We're good. What's going on, Demetria? Hey, Donovan, welcome back. You've been on vacation. You was out there at Freaknik, huh?
Me? No.
Nah, I said, Donovan. Nah, it's all good. Nah, I came up because man, I missed the early part of the program. I wanted to discuss the Justins up there in Tennessee. So if I'm not mistaken, they gripe, or the reason they pulled out the bullhorn at the Tennessee legislature was because of gun rights. They wanted to discuss gun rights. Is that right?
They were protesting. Yeah, they wanted them to do tougher gun laws because they had just had a mass shooting at a school.
Okay, and when that particular party, the left, the Democrats, say gun tougher gun laws, according to Beto O'Rourke, he said that yeah, your GD right, we coming after your guns. Taking the complete I guess mystery or facade off of it and admitting what many have already understood to be true. But I want to ask black people as a whole, and I'm fairly certain that you know the people here in the chat and you two on the stage understand that. And this is my point: if we really believe that the government coming to get us just as black people, or the white man coming to get us just as black people, what we look like giving up our guns?
I
You
mean,
see what I'm saying?
yeah, and I totally agree with that. I'm gonna put you on mute just so there's not a feedback, and then I'll unmute you. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that. I think black people need our guns, right? And they always do the gun buyback, programs in our neighborhood, give up your guns and all this other stuff. So yeah, I think that's an issue. But the fact that they came to prominence, a lot of us have never even heard of them. I never heard of them until a couple of weeks ago. So I think people are wondering, are they the Trojan horse? What are they really meant to do, right? So yeah, we need our guns, absolutely.
Well, to speak on what they might really be up to, I saw another live. I don't want to really promote somebody else show on your platform, but
It's fine.
Jason Whit. Okay, well, Jason Whitlock, he did a show about them, and he played some footage where the Justin with the afro was in a church. And yeah, he did a prayer, and he started off the prayer talking about Mother God and shouted out all his grandmas. It sounded like he had 80 of them. Oh, I think their focus is more the LGBTQ than the people they look like. Understand? I mean, from what I understand, that the area that they represent is 60% black. Well, you're trying to get that constituency to not protect themselves. At the same time, you come in with the same assault that a lot of people in Africa are outright rejecting. And I believe a lot of people here are outright rejecting. I mean, you can tell by how money is spent, Dimitri and Donovan. I mean, look at what's going on with Budweiser. Budweiser catching all of it because they decided to put that weirdo Dylan Mulvaney on a Bud Light can, and rightfully so. It's just, I mean, like I said, the money is telling you what people are really thinking. It's a now I haven't watched this movie. I just stay on top of current events for the most part. It's this movie came out called Bruz, not how we spell it, Bruhs, but how they spell it, Bros. And it's a fruit bat film. That's what it is. And nobody went to see it. Nobody spending money on none of that. And so one of the actors in the film, I don't know their name because, like I said, that ain't my cup of tea. But I'm aware of the information. One of them said that, y'all just homophobic because y'all won't come out and support it. You know what? At this point, I'm almost because homophobic. They need to come up with another word to describe us because we're not scared of y'all. Because that's what that breaks down to, But yeah, nobody's going to see it because they ain't putting their money there because they don't support it. So the money really tell you
Right.
that people ain't with it.
I totally agree with you, brother.
I mean, they I don't know if y'all seen this one video that's out there where it's I don't know how much blood like that was. But they took a steamroller and rolled over all of it. They blowing up cans. They doing all kind of stuff. And when will the people who are behind just the Justins and Stacy and all the rest of these clowns who think they can come at us and try and guilt trip us into accepting their agenda, when are they gonna get the message
Right.
that y'all being rejected?
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. We are seeing some movement away from that. I did see about the Bud Light campaign where Dylan Mulvaney was a transgender trans woman. I guess that's what she was or is. And they have lost about, they say, $5 billion in assets and stocks since. And actually, it was a personalized can for Dylan. It wasn't one that went out on the market. It was just a can that they made for him. And they went on their social medias, promote the can. And, from that point, it was kind of all hell broke loose. And Anheuser-Busch said that they often make commemorative cans specifically for people, not to necessarily go on the market. But with that, yeah, I think they missed the mark because, I'm in a public, I'm going to put you on mute a little bit. I'm in public relations, so I've studied some marketing and advertising, and they just missed their core target. Core target is men, Black, white, Hispanic, Asians. Men drink beer, women drink beer too, but that's kind of who they cater it to. So that was their market. And so you make this can, for a transgender woman, but you didn't calculate the cost because our transgender women, your audience, is the LGBTQ, your audience. It's probably staunch men who, the beer bellies and, the hardcore sports fanatics. And last thing they want to see is a rainbow on their beer, or a trans woman on their beer. And I'm just speaking facts, from a marketing point of view. So whoever was sitting in the boardroom during that marketing meeting, I don't know. I don't know how they missed that. But as you can see, it's cost them a lot of money just for what they did. So, yeah.
Well, let me just add to this real quick. It's also like what you see in Disneyland and the movies and the entertainment industry. They said Disney lost over $120 billion last year. And this the franchises that they bought, the Star Wars franchise, and and again, ladies, it's not nothing to down women or nothing. The point is, when you're especially in movies, it's to tell a story and to make characters into women, and all this other stuff. It really hurt the bottom line of a lot of these companies that put movies out, because when they talk about strong women characters, there's always been strong women characters in media and movies. Sigourney Weaver is one of the most strongest women characters in cinema. Hamilton, the girl from the Terminator franchise, Linda Hamilton, she's another one. I mean, you can go on and on and on, but when they particularly do these things, and like you said, they miss their core demographic. I'm not saying that men watch more movies than women, but you will see more guys go to certain movies more so than women that like romantic comedies and all that other stuff. But the MCU is another thing. This Phase 5 and 3 and all the whatever the stuff they got, they totally missed the mark on these things, and these guys are losing money bringing in these characters and that really nobody really wants to see or is invested in. So yeah, it's getting really bad in the sphere.
To your point, Donovan, when it comes to Disney and any program, it's like they force it in. You can be watching for Netflix series, you be 3 shows in, then out of nowhere, here come the agenda, and it wouldn't be better if it was part of the plot, but it don't have anything to do with the plot. Nothing. It just come out of nowhere. When it comes to Disney specifically, we can talk about LaToya Ravenel and how she said that she's a animation director. That she said that she tried to put, or not tried, she put LGBTQ themes wherever she could, and could care less when it comes to, and like Donovan said, this ain't shots at women. It's just some of the things ain't necessary. When they bought Star Wars from George Lucas, he they were still paying him to work with them to, make the new movies, and I don't think he got a chance to have any input on the series. Hell, he ain't have any input on the movies because he threw up his hands and said, "You know what? Y'all bought it. Y'all got it. Y'all do it." Because they wouldn't even go with the storyline.
And
And
yeah, and I was gonna say too. Yeah, unfortunately, and I'm not a chick flick type of person either. It just depends on what it is. Yeah, especially like after the Me Too movement, that was really a money grab for white women in Hollywood. For I understand, white women purchased Harvey Weinstein's production company and all of that. Then they came out with a movie about it, and I think it made like maybe $2 million at best. Basically, nobody wanted to see it because it's like you people just aren't ready for that. I'm not saying that women. Now, there's some women movies that are successful, but I think they're geared toward women. But I do think, unfortunately, when you try to put women in the roles of, like, let's say, like with 007, they kind of had a 007 that was a woman, but she wasn't 007, if that makes
no,
any sense. They kind of were smart in that regards. But I don't think people are ready for that, because I think too, for some of those roles, they do kind of make them a little bit, on the masculine side. So you can make a movie about women, but just make it about women. Not saying that they got to be in the kitchen baking pies and stuff like that, but if you're trying to appeal to a broader audience, most men and hell, most women aren't going to go see a chick flick that's geared, that's more of a manly. I hope I'm making sense. That's more of a masculine script and all of that. I don't know. But I think it's not hate. It's just it's mathematics. It's marketing. It's real.
yeah, it's a preference, but to that point, and what Donovan said earlier, there are movies that have been made where women have been cast as leads, and they've been good. Like I don't know if any of you all seen Salt with Angelina Jolie. That's really good. I mean, I was expecting them to make more of those, because that was a nice plot. It wasn't all about her being a woman. It was about the character they created. And then to go back further, what Donovan was saying about Sigourney Weaver, her role in all the Alien pictures, great. I mean, absolutely great. But when you start like you said, trying to make 007 into a woman, I mean, it ain't even necessary. Just make another movie, and it be a woman, and just it's that. It don't have to be take something that exists and just completely change it. Although, and I mean, but it would still be a guy. I could see Idris Elba playing 007. He's black. He's British. He's a man. It is what it is. But it's like this all out effort to try and force feed something that nobody has a taste for, in the sense of, I'm gonna make you do it. You see what I'm saying? And what was the other flick? There's another flick where Equalizer. Now, the Equalizer was a television program. It was a white British guy here in the States doing this thing. When it came to the big screen, they switched to Denzel. His two movies have been great. A third is on the way. But when you look at it on TV, and I haven't, Queen Latifah, for real, that's what we're doing? I mean, just make something else, call it something else, and give it to Queen Latifah. If it work, it work. If it don't, it don't. Leave us alone.
Absolutely. Yep. So I'm gonna let Mr. Pirate
That's
Brain
what's
come
up.
on here and say what he got to say. But LS, I appreciate you as always coming on here and giving your very insightful commentary.
Oh, I appreciate it. Back to the comment section with the third hostesses.
All right. What's going on with you?
How you doing?
I'm doing well. This is your first time on here, huh?
Yes, first time you get to see me.
Welcome.
Yeah, how both of you guys doing? Doing
We're
well?
doing well.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna say something a little controversial, respectfully though. Well, as far as the Equalizer, I could have dealt with the Equalizer had they gotten a woman that was in shape to play the part. You know what I mean? It's like Queen Latifah, and I love her and what she does, but she just wasn't. She was miscast in the Equalizer. You know, there's a lot of women that could have played that part better than her. You know, and what I think that they try to do is everything that Hollywood is doing, they have an agenda, and they don't have a problem if they lose money, because obviously they're going to lose money. First of all, they want to say, oh, we're going to have a black woman, but she's going to be big and out of shape. And we're going to make her be kicking butt, right? When they could have got a black woman that was in shape, they could have done that part, and you believe it, you know? And as far as this, the thing going with the Alphabet Crew, they shoving it down our throats. I don't mind having a few movies with some alphabets in it, right? I don't have a problem with that. And I'm not homophobic. I produce house music. You can't be homophobic and produce house music, right?
True.
Right? So here's the thing. The problem I have is shoving it down our throats, because look, they want to be in the schools and everything. If you decided to be part of that group, you basically took a decision not to reproduce. You know what I'm saying? If you're part of that crew, you decided, well, I'm not gonna have no children, because you can't do it. So why you want to come in and tell our children how to think and what to do?
That makes sense, but you know, I can't let you just ride on Queen Latifah like that.
I love Queen Latifah. Come on now. Did you see the one with her and Jodie Foster? The movie with her and Jodie Foster where she was a jazz singer?
I don't recall.
She was incredible in that movie.
Well, let me
Yeah,
say
she had like a top nude scene, right?
I
In
think
there, she
she
showed
might
like her
have.
breast. She showed her breasts in that one when she was a singer. It was like the Bessie
So
Smith
it was a
story.
movie where Jodie Foster's character was getting divorced because her husband messed around on her, and Jodie Foster and Queen Latifah became friends because Queen Latifah kind of cheered her up and told her, "Hey, look, you know, let him go and do." And they took some ecstasy and was dancing and all. It was a good movie. I mean, you know, if Jodie Foster was in it, it was going to be good.
I would listen. My dear brother, I love me some Queen Latifah, okay? I don't care if she LGBTQ, whatever. I love me some Queen Latifah. And I love Queen Latifah for a whole lot of reasons. But when I hear somebody say that she is out of shape and whatever, I've never watched The Equalizer, so I don't know what Queen Latifah is doing on that show. I never even watched the old school Equalizer, so I probably cannot speak to that. But when I think of the entity that is Queen Latifah, she is every bit of a queen. I don't know if you guys caught the.
Oh, she is. I'm with you on that.
I'm not saying you didn't say that, but I just want to kind of give some context. Y'all remember the 50th hip hop celebration that they did? I think it was for the Grammys. Queen Latifah came out. Who else was it? Missy and some other. I forget. It escapes me. But Queen Latifah was fully clothed. All those women were fully clothed. And so I love Queen Latifah because her music has always been positive. It's always been uplifting to women. Even the song UNITY, she was speaking to the men to respect women, but she was also speaking to the women, be something to be respected, right? So when I think of Queen Latifah and I hear that she's out of shape, it's like, do we really want Queen Latifah? Because when I hear that she's out of shape, I also hear she's not sexy or she's not.
I never said that. Please don't put.
Wait. I'm not saying you did. See, sometimes we gotta let us finish.
I'm sorry.
I'm not trying to, brother. This ain't an indictment of you at all. I'm saying when I hear that, I'm not saying you said that. When I hear that, I hear that maybe she's not sexy. Now, I did hear you say she's out of shape. So maybe you also meant that, it's an active role. I don't know. Maybe she needs to be running and jump. I don't know. I've never seen it. But I think Queen Latifah's in her 50s too. So it's like what should she really be doing? You know what I mean? So yeah.
I don't know if she should be the equalizer. That's all I'm saying. It was miscast. And I think that they were trying to promote an agenda by casting her. And because these casting directors are really good. They know what they're doing. So you can't say they made a mistake. And there's plenty of movies that she can be in where she would be fantastic. Like back in the day when she did Set It Off, she was perfect for that role.
Yeah, but can we also say admit that Queen Latifah is fluid in her acting? I mean, she's played quite a few roles that were not necessarily LGBTQ. We know that, her and Set It Off, she was LGBTQ, but she's played a lot of other roles that she wasn't. Now, like I said, I don't really have a good critique on The Equalizer because in all fairness, I haven't seen it. So you may be on to something, but it's kind of like when I hear she's out of shape, I'm like, well, she's in her 50s. You know what I mean? I think they probably knew that when they casted her. Now, let me ask you, since you watch it, did they cast her to portray a younger woman? Like, tell me a little bit about her character, because I don't know.
Okay, Donovan, help me get my foot out of my mouth.
No, wait. I want to say this. I know this is your first time on here. I seem to, be a little rough, and I don't mean to be. I just like to give it a full conversation. You know what I mean? Because I see some people in here taking exception to you saying that she's out of shape. So I just kind of want to give you a chance to explain.
What I think he's really saying is there's a lot of miscasting going on in Hollywood. I'm sorry. In some of these movies, a 110-pound woman is not going to kick the crap out of a 220-pound dude. I mean, you see this in all kinds of movies, the Charlie Angel movies, all these movies. It's just, it's not realistic, if you're really into that, and I don't watch a lot of movies like I used to. I'm mostly into theater, but was she miscast? In The Equalizer, the character in itself is supposed to be a badass kicking, killing machine type thing. And if you look at the Queen, she doesn't come off as that type of person. That's what he's basically saying. There's like a miscast, not that she's out of shape or nothing, but even if she was in shape, it would still be unrealistic to cast her in that role.
Now, if I went up to say I was going to be James Bond, you'd be like, dude, you tripping.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you would obviously have to dress like James Bond and all of that,
At 300 pounds?
Well, I don't know if Queen Latifah's 300 pounds necessarily.
No, I'm not talking about Queen Latifah. Don't do that to me. I'm talking about me. At 300 pounds, I can't be James Bond.
Okay, can I say this? Because you're obviously going to pin me to the mat. You can be James Bond, but will the people buy it?
Well, that's the whole point I'm trying to say. The TV series, I don't think people was buying it.
Is it still on?
I don't think so. I haven't seen. I haven't heard how no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and I'm not trying to say you're wrong or anything like that. We're just having a conversation. Sunlight.
No, I know. Look. Yeah. You never heard me up here talk. You see me typing, but I'm animated. I don't get offended about stuff. I've seen you enough on here to know how you roll.
Hi, lady. Yeah, I'm just having a conversation. Iron sharpens iron. You know what I mean? And admittedly, like you said, in the comment section is a little bit differently. They're coming up here, whatever the case is. But yeah, we're just having a conversation. And Sunlight made a good point that Queen Latifah was about 6 feet tall, so she ain't gonna be no skinny woman. But like I said, I can't make a fair judgment because I've never seen The Equalizer, neither of them. So I guess I'd have to watch it to make a fair judgment. I don't know. Maybe she's limping, or I don't know. Black America. And
go watch her. See if you can look her up, her series, and watch an episode, and you just watch about a half hour of The Equalizer with Denzel Washington, and I think you'll see what I'm trying to say. You'll kind of get it.
Yeah, I have to watch it. In Black America, he said women rap don't sell to men, it only sells to women. Now, I'm going to just say, without even going into historical context, that's a lie. Now,
That's not true.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I've got Queen Latifah's first album. I went out and bought it when I was back in the MC Light. I bought who's other? It's another female rapper.
Money Love,
you know, the one
Money
with
Love.
Butterfly, Arrested Development.
Mm-hmm. And she was part of the Flavor Unit.
Yeah. So Black America, please.
Yeah. And you know what? Black men are not homophobic either. And I'm gonna tell you something that I've noticed. Black women root.
You froze up, dear brother. Hopefully you come on back if he can hear us.
There you go.
They start.
Yeah,
they make it.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
They starting to make let the LGBTQ people compete with women, and even when they made Bruce Jenner Woman of the Year. Now, how many years you been a woman, Demetri?
Going on 52 now. I mean,
exactly.
Wait, how old am I? 50? I be forgetting. Okay, I'm 52 now.
Yeah, I'm 61. You a sweet young thing to me. But look, how you gonna how you gonna make Bruce Jenner the Woman of the Year his first year as a woman?
I mean, you know, it's political, or how does it say? I don't know if it's political correctness, but it's like, you know, they sometimes they can be likened as the mafia. You know, you don't give them what they want, then they're gonna make you an offer you can't refuse.
Yeah. Now they got to call me a cis man. I got to change my pronouns.
No, you don't. You ain't got to change your pronoun. I mean, that's their stuff. You know, I would say this. There's a very LGBTQ man. I think he goes by a man named Jeffree Star. Okay. Jeffrey's a white man and he's very flamboyant, right? He's got this makeup line and everything. And even he said, knock all this nonsense off. He said, this stuff came from TikTok. You know, it's targeting people because they don't call you this and they don't call you that. And now you are he or her or them or us and the people and all these other things. And he says, that's some stuff that came up with TikTok during the pandemic. People were bored. And now they want to demonize other people for not going along with, like you said, now you're labeled a cis man and all this other stuff. And he was like, yeah, stop doing that to people. If that's what you want to do, you go do that. But stop targeting other people because they won't go along with this nonsense that you made up when you were bored. And I was like, wow, now that's when I say a very gay man, that man is, I think he put the G in gay, you know. And I've heard a lot of other LGBTQ people say that. That I don't go by all these new norms that people in that community are putting on us. They're like, you can call me a man, you can call me a woman, doesn't matter. I know who I am. I'm not going to make you feel like a bad person because you don't call me this, that, and the other. But of course, a lot of those people from the old school, right? Where they really had to get their, I guess, respect and all of that. And they're still getting it, let's be honest, out of the mud. So they're like, but we're not going to force that on y'all. This is some new stuff. We don't agree with it.
Yeah, and did you hear about James Baldwin movie they doing with you know who I'm talking about, with the guy that wears the dress?
So James Baldwin, Billy Porter is actually going to be portraying that of James Baldwin. James Baldwin was a writer and an activist. He also was a gay man, but he was not a gay man first. He didn't hide that he was gay, but he didn't promote that as much either, even though he wrote a few books. Giovanni's Room, and a couple other books that talked about it in a roundabout way, but he was Black first. And so the fear with people who love James Baldwin like I do, one of my favorite books by him is The Fire Next Time. Some people are fearing that Billy Porter, who is very open in his, gayness, nothing wrong with that. I like Billy Porter. I keep it honest with you. I don't like some of the stuff he does, but I love his acting. I love him in American Horror Story, which is one of my favorite franchises to watch. But I think some people are concerned that Billy, because he's also co-writing, it's a biography, so he's also co-writing the script, along with, I think, a white man. They're afraid that he is going to take James Baldwin somewhere that he was not himself, right? Like they're afraid that they're gonna make him gay first and then black. One thing about James Baldwin, he was unapologetically black. He had even visited the messenger's home, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. They sat down, had a conversation, and all of that, right? He put it on the line for black people. So I want to see the movie, but I only want to see it if they do James Baldwin right, because we've seen how they do a lot of our ancestors, like Harriet Tubman's and, you know, all of them, and they make it something that it wasn't just to sell tickets, right?
They could have got Coleman. You know the guy who played in Fear the Walking Dead, the black guy? I don't know if you ever watched. His first name is Coleman. I forget his last name.
I don't know who he is, but you know what? Honestly, I think, this is my opinion, I think that Billy Porter is perfect. I think he is perfect for the role. And I'm going to tell you why I think Billy Porter is perfect. Because they kind of have a similar life, if you will. James Baldwin was involved with a white man for a very long time. It wasn't like out in the open, but it was known. He was over, I think, in Paris or somewhere they lived, and they were together. They're also activists to some degree. They're both obviously LGBTQ, and they have a platform. Had James Baldwin, so I think he's perfect. And Billy, don't count Billy Porter out. Billy Porter is a damn good actor. I'm just hoping that he does not flip it the other way. That's all I can hope for. But I don't have a problem.
Well, you know what? I'll go see it. Just because you said that, I will go see it. Yeah, and then I'll come up on my channel and talk about it if he mucks it up.
Yeah, and there you go. Now we'll have open critique if he does it wrong. But I'm hoping that he's reading the room, just like with Jermaine Dupri with the Freaknik documentary. I'm hoping that he's seeing, him and Uncle Luke, all of the feedback of, like I would be interested in seeing the Freaknik documentary. I've seen a few of them already. But if they're going to make this an indictment piece of, look at that auntie, look at that grandma now, and look at her, she's bending it over, busting it open, and all of that, then I wouldn't be interested in that, because those people now, they're not what they were, most of them, I don't think, or what they were back then. When we were in our 20s, we were doing some stuff we aren't proud of. You know what I mean? And now, that we're in our 50s and 60s, we're doing some things. It's hell, some of us are getting ready to retire. So the last thing you want is Jermaine Dupri and Uncle Luke to put this, indictment piece up for all to see, and really at the behest of white supremacy. Because what would be the point in tearing down Black people who are now or who are no longer that? So I'm hoping that they're kind of seeing all this feedback and say, okay, we need to do these things right. I'd be interested in hearing about Freaknik if it's something we already don't know. Like, how many of us have not seen the rump shaking and all the other stuff that went on in Freaknik?
Hey, let me ask you a question on that real quick, Demetria. You know a little bit about law. They've been saying that there's a lot of women out there, especially career women and women that are very powerful now, that are saying that they want to stop that documentary from coming out for the simple fact that they didn't get a release. Could you kind of elaborate if that strategy would work?
Yes. So there's about 5 women, from what I understand, that are trying to block the documentary from coming out. I think 2 of them are judges. The rest of them are CEOs. So they're somewhere in life, if you will. And some of them are saying, yeah, you're actually going to, if they show this footage or whatever, you are going to see me doing some things that I'm not proud of. And so they're trying to get it blocked. I actually think that it brings more attention to it, but I understand their concern. Do not make this an indictment piece. Do not do this to shame us. We were kids essentially back then, right?
Right. But in a documentary, do they need a release to use your image?
I don't think so. Oh, that's what you're asking me. I don't think so, because they were in the public. Atlanta, where they were, was a very public place. And yeah, I mean, I think you kind of give up your rights when you're in public, and it was being filmed, and the case And of course, a lot of those cases, they were voluntarily, performing or whatever they were doing for the camera. But I understand their concern is like, I think Jermaine Dupri, Uncle Luke, Hulu, whoever, they should just make their intentions known. This is where we're going with this piece. We're not trying to shame people. We're not trying to ruin people's lives because somebody might be married, to a man, let's say, who was doing some grabbing. And his wife might not like that. And she may divorce him or whatever. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just think they should make their intentions known. And LS, I love what you said. You said not necessarily true. He says, Boss Bahamadia, Soldier, all female rappers, and we're great. And how many times people have told me that I look like Bahamadia? Like, okay, I'll take that. But yes, you're absolutely right. And those women back then, they weren't talking about their body parts and all of that. They still had to get it like the men got it, which is why a lot of those women rappers, they dress masculine, because I don't think men really wanted to see, not from the rappers, women running around naked, right? Those women wanted their respect. So, I agree. And let's see here. Let's get to some of these comments. And Mr. Pirate Brain, jump in whenever you want. You say, Sunlight, exactly. No one is calling this POS today rappers. The female rappers from the 80s and 90s were tight. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just going down. I'm just going to go all the way down past all of that conversation. Alliance Group, how you doing? It says, and the same people want to say that our society is patriarchal and misogynistic, but they replace naturally born women with naturally born men, and even put men in women's sports. Double standards. Yeah. I mean, I think, it's funny, not funny, but just kind of thinking about it. My nephew, who was 14, he called me on my birthday, and he calls me Tia because he's partially Panamanian. And he says, Tia, did you hear about what happened at King High School? It's a high school in Riverside, California. I said, no, what happened? He says, it was a trans girl. So as a man or boy who was going as a girl. Now, I'm still learning, y'all. Got into a fight with a biological girl. And I guess the trans person blackened her eyes and was bleeding all about the face. Then a friend tried to jump in. Then a trans student beat that student to a bloody pulp or whatever. And he says, well, what do you think about it? I said, well, I think it's all fun and games until, that kind of stuff happens, because in a lot of cases, schools advocate for it. Now, I'm not saying they shouldn't advocate for people not to be who they are or who they feel like they are. But as far as mixing with the sports and all that, I just think we need to concede the point that if you're born biologically a male, you are probably stronger, or physically superior than a woman. And so that you say that you're a woman and, you're born a man, I'm trying to be as respectful as possible. I think you still should have, it should be some concessions to you fighting a girl. Because even though you think you're a girl and you may think that, I'm not saying that you are not, I'm just saying you still have to remember you're physically superior. You probably going to mollywop her. So how do you even have that conversation? Are you even allowed to say, well, it's a biological boy that beat the dog crap out of two girls? Or do they get a pass? You treat them the same? Like, where do you really go with that? So I think that's where it's going to really become interesting. You have a lot of them that are, like, my thing is this. And again, I'm not trying to be ignorant or disrespectful, so forgive me. Like, you have trans women. So that's a woman that used to be a man, I guess. They want to participate in the women's sports, but it's like, now you know damn well you're going to win. So if I was a trans woman, I would prefer to maybe compete against other trans people, because I kind of feel like I'm cheating, especially if I'm in a wrestling match, with other girls. I'm probably going to be more superior, right? So do you really feel good about that win when you're probably going to win anyway because you're stronger? You know what I mean?
Well, then you reverse it. Nobody's worried about a trans woman who wants to be a man because she's still biologically a woman. So that's not a threat. I'll smoke her in a 60-yard dash, 50-yard dash, whatever it is, because she's still biologically a woman. But because of these trans men are going to the other side now, there's going to be a lot of girls that will not be able to win awards in the category that they actually are as women. You know, maybe they need to make a trans category. I don't know, you know, specifically for them.
Yeah, I think they need to make a trans category and put and allow trans men and trans women to compete against each other and leave them out of biological men and women's sports that way. Because we tiptoeing around it, and they got us so scared to talk about it, and so the people don't talk about it for fear of retribution.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of that going on. I found out how you doing if I didn't already say. It says, looking at the storms in Arkansas just reminded me that hurricane season will be here soon. So stock up, family. Yeah, the other night I was here, it was thundering and lightning like crazy. I was so scared, like for real. I was so scared. I was like, I'm going back to California. I can't take this. My nerves are bad. I'm in Houston, of course. So yeah, I guess we should be mindful of that. So I'm just going to go down. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's kind of it's become a hard conversation to have because you really don't want to be offensive. But I would imagine, like, if that was my daughters and they got beat up, you know, by a trans girl, I would be pretty upset about that. I'd be upset about her getting beat up by anybody, but being full on fought by a trans person, that would make me upset. And I would ask the school, so what are we doing here? You know, a fight is a fight is a fight, some people will say. But yeah, I think it's a little different vein when you have that going on. I mean, to the point of you beating them both to a bloody pulp. And then what do you say? Well, you know, I'm a girl, so I can fight them. You know, and I've seen a lot of other people make conversations about it. And this is not to be transphobic. You know, that's a thing now. But you do have this conversation of, I did a video not too long ago of a trans woman saying that women don't have an onus over periods. Y'all don't own that. And I'm like, I'll tell you one thing, okay? I don't have that issue no more, thank God. I'll tell you one thing, and I bet you everything I have. If you had it one time, you ain't gonna want it. Ain't nothing glorious about that. And I know y'all men don't know, but it ain't nothing you want to have. It's not like, oh, I'm so glad for all these cramps. I just couldn't wait. Nah, that ain't nothing you want. So that's kind of where we've gone. It's like,
and then even after you have it, it's like you have those heat. A lot of the women that I know have heat flashes that have gone through menopause, and that's no joke as well either. So you're getting it from either side.
That's the reason why people got so upset with Dylan, because he got a lot of women upset because he bought a tampon and was like, you have to see the video. I mean,
I've seen it. I've seen it. That I guess Dylan wasn't Mulvaney. He kind of goes around. He looks like Audrey Hepburn. That's the best I can describe it. I think Nike is giving him a campaign, Tampax, and it's like Tampax. Nike's giving him a campaign for sports bras, and I guess men can wear sports bras too. Again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful because I don't know how Dylan identifies, but Tampax. I just think that's insulting to women because, you know, goddamn well, ain't no man having no period. It's just stupid after this silly season. You know what I mean? It's just silly. And I think women should be a little bit more demonstrative about that. You know what? If y'all want to keep us as a clients or customers rather, then y'all need to come back to earth. Trans women do not and cannot have that. So you're asking them to market to us. What can they even tell us about that? They can't tell us nothing about that. You know what I mean? And so it's almost like a mockery of it all. And again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I feel like I have to preface it that way because somebody will get offended by what I'm saying. But we're just having a conversation, you know? So,
yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, Super Page.
Well, look, thanks for letting me up here, though. I really appreciate it. I'm going to hop on back down into the chat room. But I just wanted to come up since I saw you had the the StreamYard link. I said, let me come up here and say hi to Donovan and Demetra, let you know I'm supporting y'all.
Yes, brother. We love and appreciate everything.
Yeah, I need some backup here. The fellas be leaving me hanging. I'm trying to step up for the males. You know what I mean?
Look, I came up here and you let me stick my foot in it and sit back. It was like, da-de-da-de-da.
Yep, we sure did. But, let me show y'all my title if y'all don't know. See, that says Master Debater. So, it's understandable,
There you go. Now, look, after you see Denzel Washington's The Equalizer and you see Queen Latifah, I'm willing to come up and debate you again.
All right. I'm with it. I love to debate. I challenge anybody. I'm just kidding.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yes, it's been our pleasure. Thank you. Please come and see us again.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Arneva. How you doing? I know it's time for us to go now. You know what, y'all crazy. I ain't gonna read the rest of these comments. Thunder, you didn't like that I said that Dylan looks like. I can see where they were going with that. I can see it. Well, anyway, we're gonna get out of here. I know Donovan's ready to go walk his animals or something like that. And I am starving. I've worked all day long from beginning to right now. So I'm going to have me a salad or something. But you guys, please have a great rest of your evening. As we always enjoy having a conversation with you guys. We love and appreciate everything you do for this show. Whether you're a member, you subscribe, you like, you've donated to the channel, everything you've done. Thank you so much. Donovan, thank you so much for sitting here with us always, trying to eat my lunch. We're getting your lunch ate, but I appreciate it.
Hey, my mama raised me right. I'm on somebody else's platform, so I'm letting you slide a lot because I'm on your platform.
Yeah, don't bring your mama in this. Super Patriot says, please eat some meat. That's the problem.
Hey.
Donovan, tread lightly. I didn't. Yeah, okay. He was on mute. But anyway,
I'm gonna sign my assets all over to my mom in case I get caught up in the DR somewhere and I marry some young thing or whatever the deal is. That was smart. Whoever that man did that, smart.
Oh, wait a minute, y'all. Before we go, I am working on a hell of a interview. It's gonna be more like an expose. I'm working on talking to a gentleman now that, not you, that was in the DR, married a woman over there, and let's say it didn't work out for him so well. It's one for the records, I swear.
Did he bring her back here?
No, did not. It's over there. And I think this is something that y'all have not heard about, and I'm working on getting this interview. I might try to do it live, but Donovan will definitely be on there. But it's gonna be good. So y'all bear with me. I promise you, y'all are gonna be like, wow, for real.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to this guy before the show so I can get him to stay on code.
It's more like a hey, this is what happened to me type of thing, right? Yeah, I'm gonna book the interview. I'm gonna get when I get over here, I'm gonna call right now and be like, let's do it. Karen, how you doing? So anyway, again, I love you guys. We're gonna get out of here. We will see y'all, or y'all see us on Tuesday for the podcast, and then Wednesday, Wealth Wednesdays with Walter, where I think we'll continue to talk about this from a financial point of view. As is it smart? What should we do? And all those other things. So anyway, you guys have a blessed rest of your day. Peace.